Okay, I think we're waiting for some of the people. As soon as they join, I will start. Okay, we don't have anyone on the YouTube right now. Thank you guys for joining, Nishchal. Okay, I'm seeing Nishchal, you are speaking on. Jayesh, you can speak now. I don't know why is it automatically moving you guys to listeners, even though I'm adding you as a speaker. Can you guys hear me at all?
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah,
can
we
hear
can
you.
hear you.
Okay. Give me a couple of minutes. I'm just starting it on YouTube as well. Uh, yeah, I think we can start now. Today's biggest news is the court case that has been halted by the court in Seattle, and it has been interesting thing. In fact, Trump, somebody asked Trump about this decision, and his response was blah, 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 something like that, right? He was not really.
Yeah, that was expected from Trump. He said that state is democratic and that was a certain judge who gave this decision. I
Yeah,
mean,
it,
that was
yeah,
that what we were expecting from him.
right, right. It was basically the, you know, Democratic appointed judge, right? They always keep fighting within themselves. He's a Democratic judge and he's a Republican judge and so on and so forth. Hey, is there any other news today apart from that? Yeah, Vinayak is saying, yeah, I'm late. Yeah, I got late, about 2 minutes late today on YouTube. Yeah. I have more open slots for speaker. If anybody else wants to join as a speaker, they can. So how was how are other?
Is Trump in US or he's in the Switzerland World Economic Forum? I think he gave statement also in the Davos.
I don't know. I didn't check whether he is in US or Davos, but I just read it on Twitter that somebody asked him the question and he was just like trying to rub it out of the park, you can say. I mean, he had no idea as to what is happening. I think they actually expected this. I'm pretty sure they knew that something like this will happen because this was not thought through. The judge in the court, in fact, was very surprised that the attorney from the government is there to defend this as well, because a judge had the opinion that 14th Amendment is very clear about this situation that anybody who gets born on the US soil will be given the US citizenship. There is no doubt about that. So judge was very quick in giving the decision that yes, we will stay this order. They call it temporary restraining order in USA, and we call it stay in India. In simple terms, it is blocked now for at least 14 days. And after 14 days, the judge will take another look at it after hearing the arguments from both sides, and then they might just block it again. So there are very high chances that this will be blocked. So that's why I said in my tweet that there's no need to worry. And people, there were news from India. I don't know how true are those news, but Times of India, India Today, and Hindustan Times, pretty much every Indian newspaper quoted the information from New Jersey that a lot of
Yeah.
Indian families are trying to look for C-section option. I mean, that is, I think, normal thing, but a lot of people felt that this is not the correct information. Maybe it's not correct. I don't know. Because I don't know anyone directly, but I just quoted Indian newspapers, and their information is most of the time not reliable. So you guys also read that news?
Yeah, I read that. Like it's from Times of India, Hindustan Times. It's
Yeah,
the same narrative they have. Not much difference. The
yeah,
only purpose was like to tell, okay, how desperate they are for US citizenship,
yeah.
and people are commenting, send them back to India, and kind of like mostly people from India they are commenting.
Right, right, right. So yesterday we had some person. Remember, if you joined yesterday,
Yeah, I was
that
there.
yeah. So that lady who was speaking a lot, she is actually in India. You know that, and
Who?
she, some Chen or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, she's in
She
India.
joined.
Okay.
Yeah, because last time she joined in another podcast that we did, and she kept speaking and speaking and speaking. And then when we asked about where she is not even in USA. And she was saying that Indians should come back, be respectful, and this and that. All the
Oh
sort of
God.
and have some self-respect, come back, India's growing, and all that kind of story. But nobody goes back really, right? We have Rahul Menon as well. He is the host of Area 51 podcast, but he has joined as a listener right now.
Yeah, everyone
Well,
keep fighting until the last moment because nobody want to go back like until after so much struggle and everything.
right, right. Well, let me just show you the document from the court. This is the
It's a
actual
PDF.
order. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not.
Yeah, yeah. I have shared it in WhatsApp also.
Yeah, I think that's where I got the link
Yes,
from.
yes,
Is it PDF file from the court order?
yes.
Yeah, this is a
Okay.
PDF file.
So is it applicable in entire US or is this something for those four states who were filed in that court?
No, the judge has given it for the whole of the country.
Oh, okay.
And judge was very clear that judge was in fact shocked that how can the government attorney defend this kind of silly rules or executive order. He was pretty clear that president has no authority over this matter.
But Anil, it's just for 14 days. What if we want it for like unlimited time or until the Supreme Court makes a decision? So I think there is a procedure called as like preliminary injunction where they can request to extend TRO, right, until case is resolved.
Right, right, yeah. So most probably that will happen. That's what everyone is expecting. That after 14 days, they will be blocking it completely until a decision is made by the court.
Okay.
Oh, so the 14 days will start from today or after it's supposed to
Yeah,
be implement?
today. Today. It started at 11th hour. It clearly says this is the time, 11 a.m. of 23rd of January.
But
It started.
anyhow
It
it was not in effect until I think February 20.
in effect means that they would have started the implementation from after the 30 days, but it was in effect, right? Legally, that order was in effect, but because the order said that citizenship will be stopped after 30 days, that was the main thing that you are saying, right?
Okay,
So
so they cannot do anything in background to implement this for next
yes,
14
right.
days. Okay.
Yes, right. So now they will be discussing or hearing it in the court, and then things will move forward. So if you have seen this similar kind of thing is happening in India also, they always try to do something and then wait for somebody to file the public litigation in the court, and then the court drags it for years and years. So those kind of things are happening here as well. I'm pretty sure for each executive order they have given, there will be similar lawsuits and things will be fought in court rather than rationally in the Congress.
Yeah, yeah. I hope that
So
no, no,
yeah,
something like enforcement department or something similar body won't be in the house of whoever filed those litigation in the court or the judge. They just
right,
not
right.
start just looking his browsing history, what he was watching on internet and other.
Hi, Anil. I have a question. Can I ask
Mm-hmm.
change? The
Yep.
question is in these 14 days, or
Mm-hmm.
consider like it's like a layman question. My question
Mm-hmm.
is if somebody from government goes to Supreme Court, and I'm hearing the other side of the coin, like they're saying like the founding fathers were doesn't know about the futuristic impact of that thing, so that's the
Mm-hmm.
reason they might have given that. But at this time we need to stop this at any cost. That's what some people, congressmen and senator I have seen in other videos. So
Mm-hmm.
my question is, if the government goes to other courts or somebody, does the courts, if one court says no, if any other, like right now I see like they have circuits and supreme district courts like that. So if
Mm-hmm.
one court says no, if does it mean like all the courts need to say no, or any judgment will be different from one court to other court?
Are you there? I think we lost you.
So
Yeah. So yeah, I'll answer this question, and then if someone else
Sorry,
has.
sorry, I got a call. Sorry, I got a call. Last witness. So can one circuit court gives one judgment, the other circuit courts will give other judgment. Is it
Mhm.
possible, or will they consider the same judgment throughout the U.S. jurisdiction?
No, usually what happens is multiple courts will give their own judgments, and they can be different judgments. If the judgment is same from all the courts, then there is no issue. It will be the final decision. But what happens is if every court has a different opinion and then there is no majority opinion, then it goes to the upper court, which could be the Supreme Court. Finally, that's
So
all
you
it
so
happens.
you mean to say if all these people give different judgments, then only they will
Mhm.
go. If if majority of the state courts say like for example, if Seattle or Washington or other Kansas, some other state, some other city, I don't know. So if
Mhm.
all these courts give the almost 70 to 80% same or 100% same judgment, then
Mhm.
will they still go to Supreme Court, or just they will ruled it out saying like no, we need to follow the all courts are going on. Why? Because a judge is a judge. Everyone will give the same judgment, right? Judgment is end of the day for people mandate or people acceptance. So as per constitutional. So
No,
does
no,
it
no,
mean like
no.
No,
So what happens?
judges are
The,
political driven also, so they can give
exactly.
the
yeah,
decision.
so it will be
And it
statewide,
is
right?
the interpretation
That's
of the law rather than it's something written and they are reading it out. There will
exactly.
be attorneys, lawyers. They speak in such a way that it's interpreted. They are interpreting the law in their favor, the way they want. It's just like criminal laws and civil laws where they try to put up their own views, point of view, something like that. So yeah, so far, I mean that's what my observation since 2015 being here. So yeah, they do try to uh, defend their uh, whatever the prosecution try to, in this case, federal government and the defendant being people. I don't know, might be mixing it up, but yeah. So That's what my understanding. And
Yeah, like did you? Yeah. So did anyone go and read that amendment? The couple of line it says that it all depend upon the jurisdiction. Okay, so it's like okay, if civil court and all the things decide that okay, this can be cleared off, so yes, then this will become a lawsuit. Okay, and it will go that way in that way. So it's not like it is a default that birthright citizenship has to be given because the couple of line it says that it all depends on jurisdictions. Okay, jurisdiction here is
But
like a supreme.
if you see one tweet from Nancy Pelosi, she kept directly saying one single line: "Whoever born in the land of US, they are US citizens." Period. That's what she told. Like
That
very
is
clearly.
interpretation of the amendment, but the amendment itself is said that it all depend upon the jurisdiction. As I said that someone said like a couple of minutes ago, it all depends about how you want to interpret the law. Okay, but if you read the line by line of the law, it says that it all depend upon the jurisdiction. It's not like okay, you will get the birthright citizenship, and we should not be worried about like let's say it happens, it doesn't happen. Like say most of the people like we have large a large number of people working in a Gulf countries. In Gulf country, there is no birthright citizenship. Correct. So I sometimes like I seen this on Facebook
Please,
groups.
So
one
hold
second.
on,
Sorry,
so hold
sorry,
on.
sorry. One
So we
second.
are
Please
just
don't.
distracting.
One second.
We
Please don't bring other countries. Other countries. We
yeah.
are we are only on US. If you want to discuss on US, please discuss. Or don't bring other countries or other things. Why? Because this is the constitutional discussion on US land. Whoever are suffering here, whoever are there here. Please
No, no.
don't
My
bring other.
point was, I
No,
agree.
no,
My
no.
point
Hold on. So
was,
we have been discussing this since last few days. We just discussing the kids who born on the US. We are not interested that what other countries are
no,
doing
no. My question
and
is,
is
Exactly.
yeah, let
any
me
other
finish. Let me
country is
finish.
doing.
Let me finish. My question was that, like, there were some forums, like, they were asking about what will happen to our kids in the US and everything. Like, so logistically, see, the other countries, it's like, okay, the passport, birth certificate,
Please,
everything is like
please
being
don't bring
issued.
other countries, man. Don't bring other
No,
countries.
no, here also, like, let's say this one doesn't work out. Let's say this one doesn't work out. Then in that case also, there will be some options because it's not. See, Indians are still like a pretty less number of baby if through India, babies getting born through India is like still pretty less. Okay, most of them are South American,
Okay,
maybe all
I
this.
think this is becoming a philosophical discussion, and that is not where we should go. Other countries have different immigration policies, and they can deal with that. And that has always been the case. And you
I
get
I
your
think
PR and citizenship
Yeah,
early as well
so
in some other
one
countries. So
second.
let's not bring that.
I think host and moderator Anil Gupta, you need to please take
yeah,
up the space such a way that
yeah,
we are only discussing on the Trump executive order and only on the US born people for legal immigrants. Just we will discuss on that
right.
area. Don't
Okay.
go out of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Anil,
Yeah,
I
I'm
had a
totally
couple
agree.
questions.
yeah, let me just clarify 2 points. So in case this is unblocked by the court and Trump gets his way to block the citizenship, there were two options for Indian kids who were born here. The parents can go to the Indian embassy and request the Indian citizenship for their kid, or they can choose to stay as illegal person because there will be no status for the kid. So in that case, USCIS would have defined some kind of status for them or some kind of pathway where they can apply for the kid's dependent visa, for example, H4 or something like that. They would have to define that process as to what will happen
Hey,
But
Anil, I think
because
we lost you.
the
but
parents.
but
Go
Anil, I
ahead.
think kid below 18 years of old that doesn't acquire the unlawful
Uh,
status, right?
No, no, no. That they don't collect the unlawful presence by law if they are a
They
minor,
they
but
do not
they're
require it, but for applying for a passport through US embassy, status is
exactly
required. Yeah. So for
right,
at that
right.
time,
So
yes, at that time, yeah.
for the purpose of banning the entry, they don't count it as illegal presence, but there will be no status because right now there is no process to apply a visa for the first time from within USA. So they always assume that you are coming to the USA, and when you are coming, you already have some kind of visa, F visa, A, B, C, D, G visa. Then you can come here and change the status and this and that. This is a extremely new situation even for USCIS because it has never happened and they have never thought about it. that this is even a possibility. So they would define the process in case the court goes back and removes this stay. But for the time being, they have blocked it. And there is a very strong opinion in the attorney community that this will continue. They won't be able to allow, when they won't allow it to be banned. The citizenship will be given, and the
Yeah.
court case may go on for quite some time. Yeah,
I
somebody
read an
wanted.
article which says that the US system runs so slow, and this is such a big change. They even not able to implement the real ID for the driving lessons in last almost 7 or 8 years. How could it will be done in the 30 days, even if we think it is going to be happen? Because the system is just designed, you just get a birth certificate and it will be the proof of certification of the kid on the US land, regardless the parent immigration status.
Right. So birth certificate will be issued, but they won't issue the citizenship certificate if the executive order is implemented. Right. So in case
No, no,
the Mhm.
but in that case I think I mean, as of now, when we apply for the passport for our kids, they don't
Mhm.
ask, I think, our status. They just need all the information about kid, and they just check our I think driving license, just to be make sure that we are the legally parent of the kid. They don't check anything else other than this. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm
So
saying, that
Just
the
to remind you, sorry sorry to interrupt here, but thing is, just to remind you, Social Security and passport come under. I mean, passport comes under Department of State, which is Marco Rubio, and Social Security, I think it comes under Department of Homeland. So they both come under the federal, so they might be quick enough to uh, take care of what you are saying, mentioning. Yeah, you will get a birth certificate from your county where the kid born, but the other things, state governments are relied on federal government. So uh, I think you are wrong here. Uh, Try to, yeah.
Okay.
So
Also, one more thing, if anybody can let me know, how does this
Mhm.
Supreme Court order works? Because recently, I think they have passed some abortion law from the Supreme Court. Regardless, this every state has their different law. I mean, some states are still allowing to do these abortions. Some are completely banned. So how does the federal court law will execute in each of the states? Or it is a federal matter, so it will be happening based on the federal decision.
So the Supreme Court's decision will be final. It will be implemented by all the states.
No, that was, I think, happened in the same abortion case when they said that it is illegal, but still few of the state, like all the blue state, are letting women to do abortion on
Right,
their
right.
wish.
But immigration is the federal law. So it's not, the law here is not like Canada where the states or the provinces have the right to directly give immigration benefit to someone. Like for example, in Canada, British Columbia can invite you to file the green card, Canadian green card directly, right? But here in US, the Texas or maybe New York cannot directly give you immigration benefit. They have it is a subject matter of federal government,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
correct. Yeah, it falls under
the
federal
federal jurisdiction.
jurisdiction. Yeah,
Right.
so it's different, and
It's
even with the
different.
with the marijuana too. So some of
Right.
the states, western states, have legalized it, but federally it's illegal.
Right, right. That's why if you have not got the green card, we always say that don't use it or don't, even if you use it, don't get caught.
Yeah, even with the
Because
green card,
there's a,
unless until you become citizen, you
okay.
still need to file some documentation with USCIS.
Right.
So, as per Rahul Reddy, I mean, everyone knows him. So he tells that don't even go with your green card after you get the green card, because you have to submit the driver's license as soon as you enter the shop. So and
Mhm.
it's illegal. But anyways, it's a different topic. But I
Right.
just would like to concur that you are right. It's a federal thing. Immigration falls under federal law.
Right. So if
Regarding
so,
these Supreme Court, I can add a couple of 2 cents here from my side. It's
Mhm.
like yes, you can, yeah, it's a federal law. Okay, so any state cannot deny it. However, there has been some instances where states say no, these and that. Okay, from in that case, maybe there's some heat has been like passed from like I would say president to governor and all this stuff. But ultimately, these are the federal laws. Okay, state cannot continue to deny for longer. Okay, and these are like SSA, SSN, passport. There's everything comes under federal government. Correct. So,
right,
for
right,
example, like if you're in a, let's say, if you're in a New York State says, okay, we're gonna issue the birth certificate. Okay, let's say they're gonna issue the birth certificate. They're gonna consider you as a U.S. citizen, but you cannot apply for a passport because passport comes at the Department of Homeland Security, right? And they will not issue. They will say, okay, as per this executive order, you're not eligible to apply for a passport because parent is not a green card citizen, a green card or US citizen.
right.
Yeah, but at
Yeah,
the same
one
time, I
thing.
think Trump also said, I think, few days before that now the enforcement force ICE and other department can arrest anyone from school, hospital, even from the church also. But I heard the news that almost all the democratic states said that they will not allow force to come in these
Let us do
places.
not talk there because for us, we are having a legal status, legal valid visa status. So we do not want to worry about those people, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's bring back the conversation to
yeah.
birthright
So yeah,
citizenship. One
Yep,
thing
yep.
that before I forget, I heard from RN Law Group not to apply for Indian citizenship as soon as the child is born after February 19th. Do not apply for until the case is finalized. Don't make any drastic decisions because if you apply for Indian citizenship for newborn child, it will complicate things because revoking citizenship for any country is not easy. So giving up
Right.
citizenship for any country is not
So
easy. Please don't do that. Let
Exactly.
let the law take its own course. If you can hold on for few months, it's not going to hurt. And since this is a high priority issue, I mean, I should not say high, it's a critical issue. It's basically a blocker, P1 blocker for anybody to move forward beyond 19th, Feb 19th. So don't make any decisions. And the law and the Supreme Court, once it intervenes, it's going to take a decision very quickly. Okay?
so what would be
And
the kid
then
status in that case for those number of months that you do not
you
apply
have to
for
wait
any
for more
passport?
information. You have to wait for more information because nobody knows
No, but
how
do
it
you
will.
do you want the kid, like the kid will actually be out of status, right? So is that gonna be safe to be
up
in
till
where?
18 years, up till
No, no,
18
no, no, no.
years, there is no visa, there is no concern of a visa. Do
Okay,
not worry on that.
Correct.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's it. Like even if they are like accrued any out of status date or any
Doesn't
days or anything, it's not
apply.
going to
okay.
impact their visa status or not. It will
So
not even
so
impact your
now,
H1 status also. So do not worry
okay.
on those things.
Okay, so now that the court has blocked it and say nothing gets passed right away, like there is still a blocker. Does that mean that executive order is not being considered? So any kid born after 19th of February, can they apply for the U.S. passport?
That's right.
Like
We'll
because
talk
the
Everybody
court
about
has
can
like
blocked
after
apply.
it right now.
14 days.
Yeah.
We'll talk about
Yep.
after 14 days on that matter.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
not
Yeah.
now what
So
is going to
Everything
happen.
will be the same. No changes there.
Okay,
right.
so
So
you can continue
as
to
of,
apply for a passport.
yeah,
Yes. U.S.
as of
passport.
today,
Yes.
as of today, the court judge has blocked it for next 14 days because he's going to hear the arguments from both sides, and it is possible that there is some other court who will, uh, put a stay again for another 14 days or something, because a lot of cases have been filed. In fact, states are fighting this case on their own. So it's going to be a very big issue anyway.
So
And
Anil, the 22 states that are filed, do you know when that case is going to be in court at all?
yeah, tomorrow there is another hearing. I think it's in Massachusetts. Tomorrow is hearing, and there is one set for 5th of February that I know of. So every court is going to hear it, and they are going to, uh, you know, put this kind of stay from their own side. So it is expected that there is nothing to be worried about for the time being. So if a kid is born on 20th of February after, they will be getting citizenship. So
So
And
they
nothing
I
to
they
would
worry.
also
can
like
they
to
can
add
go and
one more
apply for a
thing.
passport.
No, see,
Yes,
that is
yes,
at on that day, whatever is that. So let's do not plan it
exactly.
everything from now. On that day, like just everything, take everything one day as a day. Don't take it like a long. Go day by day, don't plan it. And just for example, I was reading this Times of India article, okay, Indians are pushing you for C-sections and everything. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy. Do not take such decisions also. Do not take do not jeopardy health of your spouse and of your kid also
See,
on that matter.
see, when we are sitting here, we think about the positive things, but think of people who are coming by jumping the border. Thousands of Indians do come from that path. They sell everything in India and then they come through that donkey route, and a lot of them get, you know, they die on the way. So it depends on situation to situation, and we don't understand everybody's situation here. There are people, and there would be people who will be thinking that they absolutely just want the citizenship for their kid. So it is possible that there are some people who are planning for it, or they have gone to their doctors and asked for C-section urgently. So maybe that's possible. I don't know anyone
I-
directly, but it is possible.
Is it allowed legally? Can doctor
No,
just do the
no,
C-section based on
no,
the
no, no,
parental
No,
desire?
no, no.
usually
Doctor
no.
will decide. That's silly.
Yeah,
Yes, because there is insurance involved and a lot of things
yep, yep.
involved. But doctor has some discretion. Like it's not 100%, but they will evaluate the situation and do it. But if
I
you
mean,
were
it
in
really depends
India,
from doctor to doctor, so you cannot control that. I'm sure not
exactly,
every doctor is following the rule by the T, right?
No, we are deviating
exactly,
again.
exactly.
That's it. My 2 cents here. If you bring in some ritual cultural stuffs, doctor might say yes because my one of friend got cesarean uh, because of those astronomy things, and yeah, that's what came to my mind when you asked that question. Yeah, if
And
you
people
bring it,
people have given a born on say 31st December 1999 also with the C-section and all the things. So yes, so yeah,
yeah, if
yeah,
you bring
it
in
is
some
possible.
ritual and
Yeah.
cultural stuff, these people don't understand. Sometimes they agree. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, unless it's not so far, like the due date was in mid-March and you're asking to get cesarean before that, then that doctor might say no. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. Yeah.
And for as I said, as everybody talked, these are the still under these issues is still being under consideration into the courts, and I believe we are hopeful that at least one court will put a stay, and this discussion will go to the Supreme Court. Now, Supreme Court, when it goes to the Supreme Court, this will be more of a political because you know that the Supreme Court judges they are also appointed by Trump, Donald Trump, like
Three of
president.
them.
Yeah. So in that case, it might go with the rule, without rule, with the president's favorable and all the things, right? So these are also criteria are there. So I would suggest that this matter should not go to the Supreme Court. Let all the small courts or like a state courts and everything to decide all this thing, and then this thing should settle down. And anyhow, as I said, that Indians are pretty less people who gonna affected with this. There are more of Latin American and all the things. They're and they have another they have their own lobby who is trying to abolish this law.
Oh, there is a big business, man. I mean,
Yeah. It's
birth
because
tourism is
Yeah.
huge business, so
yeah,
everybody's
yeah,
going to lobby against it. So
yeah.
we are protected in some way or the other.
Okay.
But the percentage of population, we are not less. I mean, at least we are 2% of the whole U.S. population. But out of the population, how many are expecting kids? And
No, no,
some of
only
us
no. We
have
are only
already.
1 million. We are only 1 million who gonna getting impacted, like on
Yeah,
H1B.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
that
Yeah,
is
yeah,
yeah. And out of H1B, let's say, and let's say we do not go. See, I will.
right.
I mean, all of us we know that we don't keep two, three, four, five kids. Maximum here
Yeah.
would be have a maximum two or three kids. Unlike other people, other I don't want to a comment about other race also. but they keep on producing 4 to 5, 6 kids. We don't do that. So there
Right.
will be pretty
So
less people of families will be impacted. Yes, this is a critical law. In future and all the things will be planned, but like currently,
yeah,
until this uncertainty is there, there will be less number of families will be impacted by the Indian families will be impacted by this.
right.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, another thing that we could be doing is, right. So all these are class action lawsuits filed by states and some cities. So they have definitely poured a lot of money and time into it. They're not going to give up anytime easily or even anytime soon. So another thing that what we could also be doing is additionally we could reach out to all these lawmakers, right? House of Representatives, senators of the state, educate their staff that okay, this is going to be impactful for our family and then for our communities. So educate them that okay, there are people that have come legally in following all these rules and for these many years, but still now we are being impacted because of this one executive order. And how is that fair? Even it doesn't matter if you live in blue state or red state or purple state. Doesn't matter if somebody is being impacted, they have to reach out to lawmakers, right? I know this is not going through any lawmaking process, but still, the more the
Right, right,
visibility that we create, the more people will hear about it, and there will be more support. We definitely need support at this point. There is really
right.
not much we could do because
Yeah,
unless some private attorneys files class action lawsuits, and then we have to pay for it too. It's not going to be that easy, right? So I mean, it
right,
doesn't matter at the end of the day. If we want to pay money, we will go forward with it. But in order to fight at the Supreme Court level, you're talking about millions of dollars at this point. So the
right. So,
easiest way that
so
we can do is talk to lawmakers.
yeah, thank you. Thanks for your opinion.
So,
I have a question from Shalini on YouTube. Let me just take it quickly. She's saying that it's only for people who are in tourist visa and planning for delivery, not for other permit visas. She's saying there is no problem for legal visas who are staying here. But
That's what a wishful
That's
thinking.
that's not true.
This is a myth. Yeah,
yeah,
this is a
that's not
myth.
true. So
This is a myth.
Shalini, they have included every single legal visa as well, because all visas are temporary visas,
It's her
except the green
interpretation.
card. Yeah,
It's her interpretation.
exactly. So that's why H1Bs, H4s, L1, F1, everyone is worried.
Yeah. And
And
someone asked here regarding Roe Wade versus this one. So Roe Wade doesn't require constitution amendment. This one requires. So this is, I mean, major change than that. So Supreme Court can also cannot do that. So yeah, that's one thing.
okay.
So
I
I'm
have a
wondering
question.
when was okay. Go ahead, Mantha.
Yeah. So just to bring the discussion actually to the actual relevant topic. So this TRO is issued. Have anyone read the order of TRO? I mean, I couldn't find that the 2 weeks of period is where it is applicable. I mean, if it is timeline is not specified, it means it's applicable until the next hearing. And then, I mean, I was trying to understand the process onwards here, and I think the next is preliminary injunction, right? So if court provides preliminary injunction, that means the matter will be held in heard in the federal court, and then the decision will be made. So does anyone know what is the timeline of this? And then and once Trump's team lose this right at a federal court, then what is the next step? Does it go directly to Supreme Court or there is a court of appeal? Anyone has studied this part so that we know the timeline, right? Because my wife is expecting probably in April now. So that
April
we,
is
yeah.
April is, I think, safe,
Mhm.
but it can go on for years and years. We already discussed this in the early part of the call
Okay.
that multiple courts will give out their decisions, and if there is no unanimous decision, then it goes to the upper court, which could be the Supreme Court.
So after federal court, there is directly Supreme Court. There is no nothing like state court or high court, something like we have in India,
Three
No,
layers.
right?
not,
Circuit. Yeah, three
yeah,
layers. Correct.
circuit court. Yeah,
Circuit
Circuit court.
court.
Okay.
Yeah. At
yeah.
last,
Right now,
Supreme Court.
exactly. I think today the decision came out of the district court, and then it will go to
So it wasn't it passed by a federal judge today? So I'm
It
actually
was,
not sure what a federal judge means. Is he does he sit in like a district court?
I am not very sure about these things, but he was a federal judge. He can't. Nobody else can block the federal government decision, right? That's what I understand.
So another case, another area where the judge actually skipped TRO and they are directly going to hear for plenary injunction. So just for others to aware, so
Yeah.
this hearing was for TRO. The next another case where it's being heard is not for TRO, but it's directly preliminary injunction. That means it stayed until the matter is resolved in the court. The judgment
No, no,
is delivered.
I have the link for that order. So where can I paste it or I can send it?
If you're on the WhatsApp group, if you can push it there, and then Anil can possibly send it out to everyone.
Okay. Yeah, I am AM22, right? Mm.
Mhm.
No, you can message me on Twitter,
Okay. Okay. I'll directly send you.
or
Directly.
I can show the order as well.
Yeah.
I I think you shared it earlier, and I'm showing it here
Yeah,
on
I
the
sent you
screen.
DM directly. Yeah.
This is the order. If you guys
Yeah.
want to read it out, I mean, it's nothing fancy. It's
Okay.
just black and white.
So another person I was following the account as
It
I mean
says
was
14-day
tweeted.
here.
Okay.
14-day here. You see that?
Okay. Yeah.
ARF for 14 days, and I shared it on my Twitter timeline. What all are the main points and what judge felt. And in this area, in this order, he has clearly, mentioned that there is a very strong chance that the states will win this argument because this is a clear misunderstanding from the president's part. They are trying
So
to change the law.
Whether
so
this be
there is a
TRO.
timeline given. So just for others to be aware, or let me tag
Mhm,
you, Anil, so that you can show that as well.
mhm,
So there is someone called Zoe Tillman. I think what they have tweeted is Seattle judge
mhm,
who entered today's TRO blocking the birthright citizenship EO has set the briefing schedule on whether to enter long-term preliminary injunction hearing set for 6th February. An MD
mhm,
case is hearing on 5th February, and
mhm,
the timeline here is government response is due by 31st January, and then plaintiff's reply due by 4th February, and preliminary injunction hearing is set for 6th February
mhm,
That are
on Seattle
those are the
case.
dates. Those are the dates.
Yes.
However, if both the party agrees, okay, to file a motion against this TRO to open the discussion, that can be also done. So that is also something. These are the why judges given the deadline based on the like let's say 2 weeks of time. But let's say tomorrow both the party agrees that okay, I have some sufficient documentation, sufficient legal like motion to file that can be also in that case judge can start hearing the case also. So that is also something to be
Okay.
remember.
I
So
think
if
then
we get
by 6th February, if you have preliminary injunction, right, that means this is going for longer duration, because then that means until the court hearing is done and the judgment is delivered, till that time there is this EO will be kind of not applicable.
But in
mhm.
US court do not work slow. It's not like in India that it can take years and years. This matter can be resolved, can like resolution can be passed in a couple of weeks to couple of months also. So I think I think you just told about the April. By the April, you will have a clear idea by the time.
Yep. Most probably by, I think, around 10th Feb, we will get a very good idea about what is going to happen.
It will not
Because what?
stand a year. It will not stand, I think, because as I said, there is another lobby. Other people like they're pushing it a lot.
Right,
Because
right,
like
yeah,
yeah, because whole Democrat they also want like they do not want only educated people to be here on US citizens. They also want like people from other countries so that they can vote for them. Like today,
No,
there
no,
was a
more than that. So they, I mean, the state doesn't have any this is the first time, right? It's a big change. So they don't know how to deal with Medicare, CHIP, lot of things. So even they are also worried about funds and lot of things what happens to the schools and I mean a lot of things. So this is also one major thing which they mentioned in the file lawsuit
right, right,
other than constitution.
and
right.
with the insurance company also.
The
those are
only
largest scammer,
right,
insurance company, because they also
the
make a lot of
the
money
only
on this segment.
agency the only agency that is confident and is not even scared is USCIS. They don't care.
They
They are
don't
very
care.
confident that they will they will not do anything.
They said like these are also last if this is a problem. These will issue more student visa. We will continue to income earn more. From we start continue to loot from these people. Right. So they are
Yeah,
not worried. And someone was saying like how these logistically will be possible, all these things. If they want, they're gonna make the change within a 2 days. If they want to make it,
right,
something will
right.
come out. So it's like I would say that don't like just continue to work on your. I know someone said the P1. I like this production support manager or some other P1 priority. I know it is a priority, but like yeah, do not.
No, they can make, but they cannot implement it like ASAP, like or like within a few months or few years. It would the implementation, the actual implementation date should take, even though if it passes or like even the amendment also has to be done, but still it takes a lot of years. Like so they cannot like it's not a just H4EAD kind of a thing where it can be just strike off. So this is a big
It
change.
becomes a
Yeah.
law. See, if it becomes a law, irrespective when it is applied or not. If it becomes a law, then it's a pain. Understand?
Yeah.
Then
To
yeah,
yeah. To become a
Yeah, but
law,
the
it's highly impossible because yeah, I mean, yeah, that's one
yeah.
thing. And one more thing, I mean, the last amendment, I mean, the Constitution amendment apparently was done in 92 or 93 something. So it's very rare in US to amend the Constitution. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it has to be, I mean, go through to the Senate and Congress, and these guys even doesn't listen to their leader, even if the leader is president. I know
Yeah.
that there was lots of incident happen where the Democrat itself was against the Biden, and they
but
did not
this
vote
time
It
for
the
him.
house
it
is
it also
both the
it
houses
also
are with the Republic.
contradicts it also contradicts like I mean I read somewhere the article 2 something where the arms law. So I mean Trump was catching like I mean he was showing that I mean it was in the constitution and we cannot amend the article 2 for arms law something. So but here it's
Second
in opposite
Amendment.
way. Yeah. He's acting in a different way here. Yeah. But ultimately, he wants to like Supreme Court wants to like just confirm or like just rule this saying this. Okay, we cannot amend this. So that his intention was to bring it into Supreme Court, not to change or do anything. So or maybe before midterms, it may help him to
But
get like a
they don't have a two-third majority in both houses, right?
yeah
So
no
there
no.
is
But
no
at least
way they
Supreme
can
Court can
proceed
hear,
with
right?
amendment.
No, no, no. I mean, I'm not talking about the next step. At least his aim is to at least land it in the Supreme
Correct.
Court,
Yes,
and
yes.
whatever it is, I mean, I think he might be also aware of like it is impossible to do this, or but at least
Yes.
Supreme Court can do something, or if it land in
Correct.
Supreme Court, his base will be like happy, right? Something my leader tried something, but courts blocked something. Yeah, like
So the
similar
best
political.
case scenario is Supreme Court orders that there is a need of constitution amendment. Right, your arguments is correct, but requires amendment, and the amendment will never happen with the current
Yeah, that's
Hey
correct.
guys,
And
I
formation.
want to
So
ask: Is birthright citizenship retroactive?
no,
Not
no,
right
no,
not
now. They have
not
not.
not.
right.
It
No, no, no.
But
It's
it's
some
not
not
people,
possible.
retrospective, yeah.
but some people are saying that if they get their way through Supreme Court,
Mm-hmm.
they will try to make it retroactive as well, because they just have to remove some of the wordings here and there, and then it is possible. But that is
But
very far.
retroactive is going to then, like revoke citizenship for like so many, like I mean, like even Kamala Harris, right?
Yeah,
Even
see,
JD Vance's wife as well.
Yeah, exactly. I
exactly.
mean, this is stupid, right? And I mean, first of all,
Melania Trump.
yeah,
JD
exactly. I
Vance,
mean,
JD
her as
Vance
well.
wife, JD Vance wife, the parents were green card holder at the time. So
But
let do not go for the WhatsApp forwarded message and all the stuff.
No, that's not
But
WhatsApp forward. I mean, they were.
No, no, no.
I
Listen,
don't
they
know.
are
They
right
it
were.
is
here
it is
in
not
their
a
WhatsApp.
it is not a WhatsApp forward message, but whoever said that it's correct because Usha Vance and the vice president who was she
Melanie.
Melania,
Melania.
yeah, yes, exactly. So I mean, see, you know what I mean? All these guys were on non-immigrant visa.
right? When
Yep.
they had green card or whatever, right? So they will all go.
Mhm.
So they are not going to do retroactive, in my opinion. But
At
I
the
have no idea.
time in 1970s and 80s, okay, if you are a graduate, you can directly apply for a work permit and the green card at the same
Mm-hmm.
time. So these
Mm-hmm.
people are around. So if you check Van's wife, Usha, what is her name? Yeah, their
Yeah.
parents, they're like pretty qualified enough and they got a green
No,
Yeah.
card
that
and they want.
that's okay. But that doesn't mean sure कि they have the green card. They
No, no,
could have the green card, but they could also be on the visa. Why you're just not thinking that
no, no, I
they
agree.
would
But
be
see,
on the.
retrospective is not that going back. That's because it's logistically it is not possible. So
Yeah.
yeah,
See,
So
that
I
is
thing,
what
was
will
even
happen.
reading
thing is,
about Vivek Ramaswamy. So Vivek Ramaswamy's parents were on visa when he was born. So
okay,
how can they revoke his citizenship?
I think, yeah,
Even
retroactive. I think we can
Trump's
skip that topic for now.
even
Retroactive
Yeah,
is
nothing
too
happens
harsh.
in
even
this
even
country
Trump's own
retrospectively. Nothing happens
Trump's
in this
own
country
wife and
retrospectively.
her parents have come here on visa first.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Trump will also.
So
Elon, that's right.
just
Elon Musk.
like
Unless he
Does
pardons their
happens in India,
mistakes.
nothing happens here retrospectively. Just
Mm-hmm.
like things
Yeah,
happened against Pranab
exactly.
Mukherjee versus Vodafone. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing
Forget
happens here.
citizenship. My
Yeah.
6 months ago, my extension
No.
applicant is not approved, and this guy gonna like talk about this.
So,
so?
anyways, I
Does
mean, I'm
anyone?
sorry. I just want to confirm once again because I know you guys know a lot about the laws here. So basically, this birthright citizenship is not retroactive, right? Is that correct? For now.
Right? Yeah, for
Right.
now it is not.
Okay.
As
Thank
they
you.
have,
So,
yeah.
so
Okay.
does anyone have understanding of current setup of Supreme Court? How, I mean, the appointee who appointed the last Supreme Court judge, and what is their political leaning? Are they conservative or any idea?
I,
The
I think
score is
they're,
President
five
just
four.
appointed. President just appointed last week.
The score is 5-4. Five for Republicans, four are.
yeah, so
Yes, that
majority,
is that is correct.
majority
Yes,
Republican.
exactly.
I
Does
think
Yeah,
that's
everything
what
has
but
to pass through a
still,
majority, or does it have to go through like everyone has to vote yay or nay?
I mean,
Majority.
out of nine
Majority.
votes, if five vote for yes or no, whatever, then
Mhm.
it will be majority.
yeah, but still, the judges would go by the law. I mean, they cannot just go with their political ideology. They have to follow the law and the evidence
No,
and hearing the.
It's
no.
a Supreme Court. I mean, it
There is
doesn't matter. I
assumption
mean,
that we can
they decide.
assume.
They decide what they want to do. Okay, so
They you can assume that okay they are following the law, but they can twist their words and they can follow
exactly,
their political ideology and prove that okay whatever I say that depends on the law. You know what
Yeah,
has
you
happened in New York, right? New York court. That court pieced this Trump for 1 year, and ultimately they relieved him, right? In
yes,
other court, he was like a totally free man and all the stuff. But in New York, because so it's like these people know law, so that's why they can twist those words easily and say that okay, it's not a political driven decision.
exactly. If tomorrow Supreme Court says, I mean, they get 5 or 6 votes and they say, oh yeah, you know what, we have to revoke it. They will revoke it. It's not. I mean, it can happen. So it
yeah.
doesn't matter.
I think that's why they have taken this big risk because they know that they have majority there, and
Yes.
they're just trying to hit two shots in the blind and hoping
Mm-hmm.
that one of them sticks. So even if they have to negotiate that, at least stop it for the illegals. Even if the court sides with the legal people and
Yeah.
say that their kids are going to be citizens,
Yep.
they can negotiate it out of the court or do something to convince the court that at least remove it for illegals. And that will be a big win for them, right?
So
Yes,
Anil,
But I
will that
don't
be
think
a
it is.
amendment to the existing executive order, like amendment where they say that okay, legals are not included in this, while as will only target the illegals. Like,
oh,
how would they
the
go by this?
executive order is just a piece of paper. Trump can write, do that again. If the Trump denies, then okay, but yeah, you do that, you decide that go for illegal immigrants. He can
So
do that. It's just
Supreme Court will
executive order.
just
He can,
explain.
he's fan of doing 200 executive orders in a day. He can do that.
So
That's fine.
Supreme Court will just explain what is the judicial covers, whether they cover unlawful
Hey
and
guys.
unlawful, right? That's what they need to clarify. Rest, I think, is easy for Trump to order. So I think
Yeah,
that part is what Supreme Court will rule out. I mean, rule the judgment.
as of today, the law says that anyone, irrespective of their immigration status, in the US, they will get the citizenship. So
Actually,
they are
yeah,
so what they're trying to do is they're just trying to pick up a fight unnecessarily so that it gets into the news, it gets in the discussion, and it
right.
goes to Supreme Court. They want it to happen, right?
So, so,
So,
so,
so what is the procedure for doing amendments actually? Like, does it not have to go through the House and the Senate and get approvals there before it goes to the Supreme Court, or does it executive order like what we're talking about now?
No,
Executive order
no,
No,
directly goes to
two are
Supreme Court.
different things. Going to Supreme Court is different stream, and amendment is a different stream. So
right.
going to Supreme Court is like whether Supreme Court supports his EO or not. Either way, if it supports, then the amendment needs to be proposed by the Congress. And you need two-thirds of majority in House and in Senate. That's the step one, number
plus
one.
two third states.
Yeah, so that no, I'm coming back to the
Yeah.
step number two. Step number two is that Congress would notify of this proposed amendment to the states, and states needs to ratify this proposal by two-thirds in their state legislature. And out of 50 states, the need is that at least 38 states, I'm not sure if it is 34 or 38
Three
states.
fourth, three fourth.
Yeah, so they need to overwhelmingly need to ratify this
Okay.
proposal.
So
So with that
practically, it's
said,
impossible.
So,
Practically, it's
so, so yeah,
impossible.
so with that said, right, like even if the Supreme Court's considering they are more conservative and whatever they are in Trump's pocket, just say, and then they go and approve the executive order saying that this is fine in the Constitution. I guess it doesn't end there, right? Like from there, it has to go through the House of Representatives, it has to go through the Senate, and go through that entire approval process. So, and that we know as we have tried with different HRs in the
No.
past,
So,
that
Yeah,
takes
so
fucking forever.
no, no. There
that
are
is
two
the
things
hope.
here. No, two things here. Supreme Court. If Supreme Court explains what law means, what does exactly this jurisdiction means, right? Whether it covers illegal or not. That if Supreme Court clarifies that, then
Mhm.
Trump will pass the new EO around that. If Supreme Court says that no, this is completely not acceptable. Anyone who born is citizen. That means you need an amendment. If Supreme Court is giving some way for Trump to do an EO for at least illegal, then they won't go for amendment.
Hey
Right.
guys, I
So,
just wanted to share an opinion that I believe that the birthright citizenship order will uphold in Supreme Court in the case where the legal immigrants, right, they have filed the immigrant petition, for example, I-140. If they have that approved, and then if they like add this, like filter criteria, okay, you know what, let's exclude the guys
No,
who have filed I-140 and they're approved or whatever,
no,
then go ahead and revoke this order.
no,
Maybe in no, you need
no.
to be
I
a
see. I think Supreme Court is not there to kind of speak with the people and explain. Their job in this case is just to explain what does this current law means. They are not going to say,
Mhm.
okay, these people are
Yeah.
allowed, these people are not allowed. They are just
No, no,
going to
no.
explain that what. Yeah.
Right now, see, like so many states and cities have filed, the cases against this birthright citizenship, right? So what I'm saying is, if Trump really wants to make sure, yeah, I want to make sure that birthright citizenship goes away, he has to add this filter or criteria that
Yeah,
excludes such
Does
people.
but do you
yeah,
know
guys,
so
do
guys,
Trump knows
guys,
what
can I
is
say something?
I-140? Yeah, do you know
Guys,
does
can I
Trump
say
Trump
something?
knows the
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you guys are going deep. I-140 legal status. You know why these are case has been filed against in all these court? No one is care or no one is worried about the legal. Every lawsuit has been filed to protect
Correct.
illegal. So
Exactly.
don't we go that to that they will protect for the I-140. All these lawsuit has been filed to protect the birthright citizenship for the illegals.
It's
So don't
So.
be
basically,
in the,
yeah, you're right. It's basically to protect the undocumented. The overwhelming
Mhm,
majority, the
mhm,
intent is to
mhm.
protect the undocumented. So,
See, but what happens is
and
the
I
legal
know.
immigrants become collateral damage as a part of that, right? So
yeah,
it's
they don't
they
care.
make
No,
executive
no, they're
orders.
not a yeah,
Yeah,
They
they
might
can be
get
yeah,
collateral
they
damage
benefited,
also, and they can be collateral beneficiary also.
beneficiaries
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
also.
Yeah,
So
because
guys,
jurisdiction
No, no,
means
they
you
will
are
never
coming
be the
under the law,
beneficiary.
right? And we are, I
And
mean,
to
the
be
law for
honest, like
people.
I-140 and all the stuff, to be honest, even president also doesn't know what is
They don't
I-140.
care about,
Yeah,
yeah.
and like
No,
even
see,
like if you're judge, if you know any judge,
yeah,
like a federal judge, also ask him
yeah.
what is I-140.
40,
Yeah,
that guy would not have idea.
yeah, that's
They're all
right. I
80
agree.
plus, man. They're all 80
Yeah, yeah,
plus.
yeah.
So I don't
No,
think.
See,
I think it's
it
all
was,
it's
it
wishful
was just an
thinking, right?
opinion. It was just an opinion. I just wanted to hear
No,
his
it is.
opinion.
No, your opinion is kind of more of a wishful thinking at this point. But the problem is they will blanket like
Yeah, yeah, but
go
on
with
the other
go
way,
everyone, right?
But
other way,
at
what could be a
least
solution?
Stephen
Other way,
Miller
what could
will
be a
be aware of
See,
solution?
at
those.
this stage, only two things can happen. Either
Mm-hmm.
you float with
Mm-hmm.
undocumented, or you go down with them.
So guys, so I
Alone,
think we need to
alone, there is
be,
no battle. Alone, there is
yeah,
no
we need,
battle.
See,
yeah, we need to
I
understand.
90% believe that this order will not pass for sure. That birthright citizenship will not go. I mean, they cannot revoke it. That's what I feel.
Yeah,
90%.
so
Obviously, I
so
mean,
more.
again, this is America. I'm here from the past 20 years. Anything can happen, right? But you
There
never
are
know.
over 1 million kids are born
Yeah,
every year
I,
without whose parents are not having any legal status at all in the US. Over a
Yeah,
1 million kid every
and on
year.
top of that, historically, they respect the precedents, and this law has been there since last 157 years.
exactly.
So precedents always takes important whenever the ruling comes, they would consider that, and it would be even for a Republican judge who's sitting in Supreme Court bench. I think this would will weigh him a lot, him
Yeah,
or her.
and yeah, guys, you know that why this has been included the legal immigrants kids also in this EO because by the number of population being increasing in the US, there would be hardly two or three more uh, president election where we could have the white man president. Going forward, either it would be black or either it would be the brown skin president in future. What that these guys Stephen Flair type of guy doesn't like, who doesn't have any other work other than hate to the immigrant. And when I say
Well, you
immigrant,
know what? I
I
mean,
included both legally and illegally.
majority of the population in this country is from either Mexico or India, right? And India is what, like I think 1% of the US population or 2%, whatever. That cannot
Mhm.
happen even after 5 or 10 years. I mean,
No,
there will always be a white guy.
when I say brown, it that is a very big population that not only the Indians, other than white, European and American, everyone is brown for them and or black.
No, no, no. Europeans are white for them.
No.
Anyways, that's a
Yeah,
different
that's what I'm
topic.
saying.
That
That
is
you
not see
That's
other
a
that
than
different topic.
it is not a point of
Yeah.
discussion
Yes,
here.
exactly.
Because if
That
to
is
be
a separate
honest,
discussion.
No,
to
that
be
is I'm
honest,
saying that how
Republicans
this
see.
has been legally
Wait,
persons are included this
No, no.
order.
yeah, yeah,
I'll tell you
yeah,
one more thing.
yeah.
I'll tell you
Well,
one more thing. Even
well made. Yeah.
Republican also
Hey,
wants
yeah,
to
I have a
eliminate other
request. Yeah,
election.
guys, I have a request. Before you speak, can you announce your name because otherwise we are not able to know who is speaking at all.
Can I know
That would
your
be
name?
good.
Who is speaking right now?
My name is
That
Anil.
was me initial.
Nishal. Okay.
Okay. I thought you were asking my name.
No, no, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know who was speaking because I think Anil is the host, and
Yeah,
I saw his button was mute, so that's why I was asking.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
speaking through
somebody
YouTube.
was speaking. Continue.
Yeah, yeah, I was speaking. That's Bakrodi. What I'm saying that Republican as a political party, they also want to win next election. So if they think that okay, these issues coming like a so much, so maybe they will also talk to Trump that please do not apply these decisions or do not do it. But they also like okay, they also like they have the businesses, money, and everything is invested here, right? So they're also looking that way. So let's see how does it go, and like let's do not be like hopeful that it will go away. Not that much hopeful that it will be applied. As I said
So,
that we will talk about tomorrow what else comes, something comes and all these things because today is like
So,
today's status is restraining TR has been passed. It's gonna stay for 14 days at the time. After that discussion will start. Maybe before the discussion will start, another court's decision will come tomorrow or on Monday, Tuesday.
I'm Vasu speaking. So
mhm,
I've got a question. Like I was like trying to get my mind around it. So what will happen
mhm,
to the state of the EO? Like, for example, now it is 14 days. After
mhm,
after 19th, also if some court decides that it's going to temporarily restrain the EO.
mhm.
So what will happen after 19th? There's a court restraining order is there. So what will happen to the kids born after 19? So will they
They
still
will,
get citizenship, or
they
since
will, they
they
will
will
get
get?
citizenship. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, today, I mean, I heard the news that, or actually read the news that from some state, the judge blocked this rule. So for
Hmm.
now, I think everybody's safe. Nothing is going to happen.
No, he
I mean,
blocked
Right.
it only for
there's no deadline right now.
he blocked it only for 14 days, and that too before um, February 19th. I mean, that
Those
year
are
will
ifs
not
and
come into.
buts. Those are ifs and buts, and when this rule
No, no.
applies,
What do
there
you
would be
mean
some
by ifs and
workaround.
buts? That's what the order states.
Yeah, no,
If you
no,
look.
it is ifs and buts, right? You are saying that what will happen if this rule goes in effect and
No, that
everything.
was the first part of my question. So I got the answer for that. So I was talking specifically about this particular restraining order that court gave
Yeah,
from Seattle. So that is only for 14 days, effective from today or tomorrow. I think it's
we
from
spoke
today.
on that already some time
Yeah,
ago,
I
but yeah,
joined late. I joined
yeah,
late.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, maybe I can cover it. So yes, those are the, and not only these courts, there are also multiple other courts. Other states have also filed those such lawsuits. Some lawsuits are restraining orders. Some lawsuits are abolishing these executive order and all these things. Okay, so all this in discussion we will go, because since the deadline for the executive order is the 19th February, so they will try to come out with some proposed resolution that whether these can be discussed in a Supreme Court or not. So before that it will come, okay, some the court, and then this matter will be discussed in a Supreme Court. Okay,
No,
if
Supreme
it is
Court
goes
step.
beyond 19th February,
It
okay.
will go beyond 19th February. I
Yeah,
don't think
in
it will
that
come
case,
to
in that case, there will be stay on this executive order, continue to stay on this executive order until there is a decision comes. Because these are like, okay, this decision is under discussion at Supreme Court. This cannot be passed as a law right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I think will happen is if it goes to the Supreme Court may just ask them to go and make the amendment via the Congress rather than changing the interpretation of the existing law. They might just ask them to make an amendment, and then the process will be followed. That two-third majority is needed. Somebody already explained it earlier in the call that how that process works. But if Supreme Court sides with the one of the argument that okay, one point is okay with the illegals, they cannot get the citizenship, but the legals can, or vice versa. Like illegals can get the citizenship or legals cannot. So in that case, it will be divided Supreme Court, and then I think it will come down to the votes of the Republican or whatever is the majority there. Not it is possible that Republican judge also rules against this decision. So it depends. It all depends there what Supreme Court says there. But it will most probably go to Supreme Court. That's what everyone is expecting it to.
Hey, Anil, will that have to come down as a bill at that point?
Exactly.
Like,
So it depends.
okay.
So it depends what Supreme Court says. For example, in India, if you understand from Indian context, there are a lot of things which Supreme Court says that okay, we have the jurisdiction to stop this bill. Like for electoral bonds, even though the government said that it is legal and it was passed by the Congress in India, but Supreme Court clearly said that it is illegal. You cannot pass such a law, and they invalidated it. So those kind of things Supreme Court can do here as well. They might just simply say that this executive order is out of place, it has no validity. They might just cancel it and then ask Trump to go to the Congress and make the changes to the law rather than reinterpreting the law. So right now
Uh,
he has just said that we think the law is written in a way that we think it should be implemented this way. That's what he's saying in this executive order. That's why he's claiming that there is no amendment needed in the law because currently they are reading it wrong. You understand? And that's
yeah.
why he never went to the Congress to make changes.
Yeah, that's right. It's the interpretation of
May
what
I
the
know who is
14th
speaking right
Amendment
now?
says. Oh, sorry,
Sorry,
Arjun. Arjun.
who was speaking?
Uh,
Sorry, who was speaking with the person who was explaining in detail?
That was
This was
Anil.
Yeah,
yeah,
was
this was
myself. Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you.
No,
I'm
the
just
point
having
was
one
trying
more
to
comment.
make was the point was trying to make is that's right. I mean, what the EU claims is it's the interpretation of the 14th Amendment, right? What does it include? The jurisdiction of, right? Who are under the jurisdiction of? Is it all the illegals, or does it only include legals?
See,
Or does it
uh,
include only citizens and legal immigrants? It doesn't include temporary workers.
see,
They are not.
I
So
think
that
in my
is where it
opinion,
comes in. I mean that.
the discussion would be around this one word, just soil. That means roughly translates into jurisdiction. So whole discussion about the citizenship, birthright citizenship, will revolve around this particular word, just soil.
So
So
just soil is just
that
if you're
means any
born in the
anybody,
soil,
yes, in U.S. soil.
you're
So
given.
that
So that comes from the old English law. So there was a case before the 14th Amendment,
uh-huh,
1844, Lynch versus Clark. So in
uh-huh.
that case, there were temporary workers from Ireland, and they briefly traveled through America, and they had a daughter, and they all went back to the Ireland after few years of living or few months of living in the US. But then Lynch versus Clark, in that case, the Supreme Court granted her, the baby who was born in the US, granted her citizenship. So this was before 14th Amendment. And during 14th Amendment, they clarified, okay, I mean, the the way in which I interpret at least 14th Amendment, it confirms just soil. It just confirms it, right? Saying, okay, you're all
Yeah,
whoever is born in the soil of the US, they are part of, except unless until you're except, if you're a foreign diplomat to
yeah,
whom you
diplomats
don't
are
owe,
exempt. Yeah,
and alien, what do you call it, enemies of the US, if you owe
yes.
allegiance to some other foreign country. But if you read Claremont Institute, right, that is what's they
Mm-hmm.
are the one who actually responsible for heritage and Claremont Institute. They are arguing that the jurisdiction of only applies to US citizens and legal permanent
No,
residents,
that's a
nobody
flawed
else.
argument. I was going through
Uh,
this archives. Archives has, I think I should have that link somewhere. So it has a nice interpretation. The way they have put it is, as I said, just soil. Just soil means anyone born on the soil of United States and its protectorates and its territories, they automatically belong to United States. Unless and otherwise, they opt out of it.
yeah, I mean that
So
has been the
that's
precedent.
very clear.
Yeah.
That's very clear.
Yeah, that has been the precedent for 150 years, but I don't have any confidence in this Supreme Court. They can do whatever they want, and
Yeah,
they
Well,
can
see,
say,
US Supreme Courts are not as a strong like an Indian Supreme Court, and it is also not like a foreign law-abiding Supreme Court. Also, in many matters, it No, is. not Yeah, let's yeah. not add our emotions into it. Let's not compare. They're two distinct and different systems. Okay,
yeah,
so
the only thing is once Supreme Court decides, there's no going back. That's it. That will become the law of the land, unless until
yes,
Congress comes and does something.
does
It is
something.
it is
Yes,
yeah. So that is some yeah exactly.
Is Supreme Court part of Trump administration right now?
No,
Supreme
Supreme Court
Court
is
is an
separate,
independent branch. They,
independent
No,
branch.
no, no. I mean, see,
but judges are
I
select.
believe,
It's a
Judges are
I
five four.
selected
believe,
through.
no, no,
It's a five four.
I believe that whoever is the president, they can choose their own Supreme Court judges, right? No?
No, it depends
Yes,
if
They
they can
still
fact
need to be
see,
voted
it's a
by the
lifetime
Congress.
appointment. It's a
court.
lifetime
Yeah,
appointment. So if one of
Uh-huh.
the judges either they're indisposed or they are
Mm-hmm.
no more,
Mm-hmm.
then whoever is in power, they will try to um, fill that seat. But still, they have to go through the due process. Like they need to go
Yeah,
for the hearing, and
yeah.
also
Senate
the
needs to vote. Yeah,
yes. So the due process is always followed. But yeah, it's a fair
based
chance
on
that whoever is in power, they will try to get their people in.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else wants to share their opinion? I think Chetan just joined. Chetan, you want to speak? Okay, you're
See me to
on.
listener. I don't know. Maybe it's my bug here in the phone.
No, he requested to speak, so I'm not sure why.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. So, yeah, what I wanted to share was that I think one of the good examples we could look into how EO is challenged in court and what the timeline would look like is the travel ban during Trump 1.0. So it actually took about a year and few months, and so the ban actually went through several iterations. I think the first attempt, the EO was challenged by the district court, then went to the circuit court, and the circuit court again got held and then got challenged again, and then went to Ninth Circuit, and then went to Supreme Court. And Supreme Court, I think they eventually allowed the travel ban, but conditionally or something like that, and Trump had to revise it. So, because the Supreme Court said that these provisions cannot be there, again, Trump released the second version of travel ban, and that again went through the same cycle. But the district court this time was from Hawaii. The first time it was from Washington. The second time it was from Hawaii. So it took about a year and 2 months. So it needs to be. I mean, I think that's something that might happen again. Is what I'm guessing this time.
So that's a great point. So I would like to ask something on the same lines. How regularly can Trump come back and create another EO? Like, say this one is shot down by the Supreme Court or the courts, and it does not like fly at all, right? This one does not take flight, but he can come back with a new EO, maybe some changes in wording, and then bring that up for discussion. Like, how regularly can a president actually come back
every day.
some changes in wording
At the
and
time, yeah.
Yeah,
try
Every
On
day
one
all over
side, he
again?
can order coffee, and one side he can ask to have a executive order prepared. By the time coffee comes, he can sign that executive order.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
he is very
it is
fond of
possible.
doing
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
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 it could be.
he's a
It could
fond
be
of
for
he's a
his.
fond of executive order. Like he has been like threatening to sign executive order in Trump one like all the time. I'm gonna do all this. He's fond of doing that. He likes that. He loves that,
right,
to be honest.
right, right.
And ultimately, what he can always say, see, I try to fulfill my commitment. It's just a court who stopped it.
Yeah, I think that's their intent. They just want to make their core base happy so that they can ask for the votes in next election. They don't care about the result right now. They just wanted to create news and they have created
Yeah.
it.
So this is the standard playbook all the politicians have, right? This
Yeah,
is what
right.
they do.
Exactly. Because if they had to do this, they should have thought through it. All the possible scenarios, what kind of costing, how will it affect the legals and the illegals. He just came out and blasted it saying, and he has not given time also. It's just 30 days. How can you plan something like this? It's a life-changing event, and they have not given even the time, and they're bashing everyone on Twitter at the same time. Anyways, it is what it is, and good that it has been blocked. Today it was expected pretty much. Today is what, 23. It was issued on 20, and then within 3 days we got the first result from one of the court. And has anybody looked into the Laken Riley Act? It was passed, and Trump is about to sign it. This is the fastest they have made any changes to the immigration. I mean, to a law which includes immigration as one of the change.
Yeah, a lot of the Democrats also voted for it, and it's pretty messed up because it gives the state AG power to stop immigration from any country they want completely.
Exactly, exactly. It's going to be a big mess, right?
Yeah. So, for example, if India doesn't agree to repatriate some of the illegals from India, then Governor Abbott, or I mean, the Ken Paxton, the guy from Texas, he can come and say, "Hey, okay, we're going to stop all legal immigration from India. Like, no H1Bs, no L1s, nothing.
Exactly,
No,
exactly.
that could happen."
Yeah,
So
that's why
scatter
probably they have
vote.
accepted 18,000 Indians immediately.
Yeah.
Send them back, send them back. Don't worry. But yeah, apart from that, I don't think there is anything significant related to H1B visa as such. They were
Yeah,
trying to add amendments
yeah,
to double the fees and
yeah.
double
Bernie
the
was trying to sneak
grace
in
period.
few amendments, right? Thank God it all got shot down. He
Exactly,
was
exactly.
putting some poison pills for high skilled immigration there. So
Yeah,
thankfully
I
it
put
didn't
some
go through.
points here. I do not know whether they are
Hmm.
also part of this current law which got passed, but I don't know.
Uh-huh.
There was couple. This is last week's tweet. I don't know whether everything is added into this current law or not.
No, nothing has added. In fact, I read the act
Uh-huh.
and it had the provisions for H1B. Like one of the provision was double the H1B application fee and then use majority of that fee for the STEM education.
Yeah, it is there.
And
Yeah, it is first point, second point is there, the same one. Yeah.
no, no, they have not doubled the fees, I think.
No, they
So I
will
mean,
sooner or
it,
later.
it has not it has not been passed. They removed
Oh,
this
okay.
amendment.
Okay.
And the second amendment that was proposed was to double the grace period from 60 days to 120 days.
120 days. Yeah.
They have not passed that either.
This is totally mass.
Yeah, but the main thing that they've passed is actually very dangerous in the sense that now even for a small offense like a shoplifting or the suspicion of burglary, the state can arrest you just on the basis of suspicion, not the conviction, the suspicion, and then they can deport you and block all the visas from your country and this and that. So they have given a lot of powers to the state in this sense. That's dangerous because Texas, it's like the UP of India. So they can do anything. They are always, boxing with the federal government and they always want to do something different and drastic. Last year they passed that what do you call the abortion law, right? I think it is a law in some other states as well, and they have also
I've got a question. What do you mean by UP of India?
UP of India. India means extremely, toward the right wing side of the ideology. That's what I'm saying. If you compare it with the Indian setup, this is
Uh huh.
probably Texas is the closest you will find. That's what I meant. Nothing else. Just the patterns, not the actual humans I'm talking about. I'm talking about the patterns.
Uh,
Okay, I think
Nothing racist.
we should avoid bringing parallels in the discourse. You know.
Yeah, no, just
uh,
to give you an example, that's what I
Yeah.
think. I may
So
be wrong. You may have a different opinion. That's fine.
I believe let's not target a specific state or anything in India. So yeah, just
Yeah,
just
that's fine.
generalize. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a general statement. I usually joke like this with my Indian
You can joke
friends.
at any other state in India if you want to,
But why? Why not UP?
because right now the way
Mhm.
UP is progressing is way ahead than so many states in India right now. Okay,
So it
that's
has
why.
nothing to no, it has nothing to do with the progress of the state. I'm just talking about the ideology.
The
That's why
ideology of UP is way ahead than so many states in India right now.
no, no, no.
Go and do research.
No, I'm not saying that it is behind. You are thinking that it is behind. I'm just saying that it matches with the
No, no, no,
ideology
because
of
you gave an example. That's why.
exactly. So
Do
you
not give such examples. Okay, give
no,
an
no, no.
example which is very general. It is very
Look,
specific.
so it is general in my situation. I think it is general. I'm comparing the ideology of Texas with ideology of
Let's
UP.
yeah, let us do not
Do
forget
Right.
not
So
this.
you are
compare
that
the
Tiger.
American ideology versus Indian ideology. The Kumbh Mela that is happening, it is happening in UP right now, not happening in Texas. And you
so
can,
see
and
you are taking it into specifics. I'm not going into
Yeah.
specific.
no,
Right.
because
You
no,
are
because you
feeling
gave
hurt.
you gave a very specific example. That's why.
Yeah, I gave the specific example based on the
Yes.
patterns in
So
the
do not
ideology.
give
I'm not
any
talking.
specific example. Give a very generic example. That's what I'm saying. All
Yeah,
right.
it is a generic example. You are taking it into specifics.
I think it's
That's
totally fine.
becoming,
Let's move on, guys. I think it's totally fine.
yeah,
This is a free speech platform. If you want to
exactly.
disagree, you can
Even
disagree
if it's a
outside. No
speech
issue.
free platform or
No, no,
whatever, do
sir,
not
sir.
give a very specific example that is
It's
not
totally
accepted.
fine.
All right.
See, it's totally fine.
It's
It's
good
totally
to
fine.
yeah,
Yep.
it's
It's
good to
totally
have some
fine.
masala
Let's,
here. Yeah,
yeah.
no problem.
There's no need to get emotional here.
I can
Let's
give
move on.
thousands of examples from all over India, but let's not target a specific state. All right. Thank
It's
you.
okay.
No,
That's fine.
I'm
Okay,
not
move on.
targeting any state.
Yeah,
You are
yeah,
targeting it
this
yourself.
okay, 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 okay. Let's stop this discussion.
Let's
Okay.
move on.
Yeah,
Let's move
yeah,
on.
Let's
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 move
move
on,
on,
move
guys.
guys.
on.
Let's
Let's
move
move
on. Yeah,
on.
I mean, so we can
Yeah, we don't
have.
want to like we already have so many other things to take
Thank
care.
you. Let's
Yeah,
move on,
Yeah,
and I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.
yeah, yeah. Let's move on because we have so many other things to take care. We don't want to fighting with each other. That's the last thing what we want.
And more than that, we are in the US. We're not in India. All right. So let's talk about US things, not about India.
If you got hurt, I'm sorry about that, but I'm not talking about
I'm not getting
specifics.
hurt. It's you know what? See, you know what?
See,
Hey, guy.
it is my right.
hey,
I will just give you a very single one line statement. We
Sir,
Indians
he
are
already
not
said
united.
sorry.
No, no,
He's
no.
already said
We
sorry.
Indians are not united. That's the reason we are facing this issue right now. We have to be united in every single thing. All right. And I'm not
uh,
kidding. And I'm very serious. We have to be
no,
united, guys. Come on.
Yeah,
We are
see,
India.
like he
no,
already
Nobody.
that
apologized
sentiment
now.
is good. No, no, no.
He
That
already
sentiment being
apologized now, I
united.
think, yeah. If you're talking about the United, then you also talk about the apologizing, let's say forgiving also. That's also
Yeah.
part of that being united. So
And
he
I
already
See,
accept
apologized.
that.
look.
Thank
We are
you.
not. Look,
I
wait.
accept
We
that.
are not
And thank you so
hardliners
much.
here, right?
I just want to say
We are
one
not
thing.
hardliners
I just want
here.
to
Sir,
say
He
he
just
one
did
already
an
thing. Let's
analogy.
apologized.
not
Look,
compare states
He
and cities and
see
people, color in India. All right. Hey, we have to be
being in a
united.
United, the
sir,
first
if
thing
you
is
So,
like
no,
look,
no, no.
can I?
So, what do you
appreciating.
want to compare? What do you want to compare then? Should we not even speak at all?
Anil,
Why?
I think so. You're fine.
So
Speak.
Guys, I think so. We
Speak.
should
All right.
be
no, no, no.
tolerant
See,
Speak.
enough
look, this is a free
to
speech
take
platform.
different
Any other
views.
speech is allowed. If you guys don't like it here, you can very well leave. I'm sorry. This is getting ridiculous.
Yep.
If you have issue with something which was raised in this conversation, then you're very free to leave. Nobody is asking you to stay. Okay.
You
And
can
let's
take the name of your state. All right.
Okay, what is your
Okay,
state
guys,
here?
I think so. We should move
We
on
move
from
on
this
from
point.
this?
let's move on, please.
How
This is
about we move
ridiculous.
on from this? I think we have some
Exactly.
other important items to
Yeah,
discuss
let's
before
Yes.
let's
wrapping
Yes.
forget.
this
He
Yeah.
up.
already
Yeah.
apologized and
Let's
like
let's move
still,
on.
and we're talking about
How
Let's
the
move
about
on.
we all
United.
move on,
Yeah.
please? Let's do that.
Yeah. Let's move on. Yeah. Let's take some questions from someone else if they have it on any other topic. Looks like lot of people joined after
Yeah,
listening to
Anil,
this.
I have a quick question regarding other topic. I mean, it's
Huh?
immigration related itself.
Uh-huh.
I'm calling my parents second time to US, and
Uh-huh.
they've been here in 2018, and I'm calling them again. So, is there any prerequisites like their visa is valid till 2028 and passport is valid till 2028? Is there anything I need to be aware of? That is what one question I'm trying to find answer in internet. But last time, I mean, adding to that, that's the question. And adding to that, whenever any of my colleagues or friends ask me what is the checklist, I always send your AM22 link to them. So
Uh-huh.
that's the most comprehensive I could ever see on the internet right now. So, but I
Yeah.
just had this question: is there anything for the second time parents arriving to US? Yeah,
No,
that's the question.
they have valid visa, right?
Yeah, they have valid visa and they have return tickets. I mean,
Then you're fine. Yeah,
Just book a
there
ticket. My
was
parents have been 4 times. Just book a ticket and let them fly. Just making sure that
yeah, there's
that
no
stay
issue.
is not more than 6 months. That's it.
okay.
Yeah.
And is there any
There-
And one more thing, like
Mhm.
some communities that everyone they do that. Okay, when they invite their parents and still let them work as a nanny and all these things take care. Don't let that all these things to do. Okay,
Okay,
because you know that at the port of entry they have a right to check your phone also. Right. So only thing
okay,
like checklist if you talk about then your parents should know that where are you working, where are you living, Okay, on all the things information they should have it. Not like they don't want to see that. Okay, if you are a product manager or let's say you're a software, they don't need to know that. They just need to know that you're working for these and these company. Okay, maybe designation like is internal role is fine, but like what exactly you do, they don't need to know it, and what is your address and all the stuff. Nowadays, also it is that you they don't need to fill up that immigration form also in the plane. Okay, so
Okay.
that is also stopped now.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, I have a question on the similar lines. Can the parents travel on the expired passport if the visa stamping is on the old passport?
They
Oh,
have to
they
have
need a
new passport.
passport. They need
Yeah,
a
the
New
passport to
passport.
travel.
yeah, the new passport will be there, but stamping is on the old passport.
Yeah, carry
That's
on.
fine.
That's a basic. Yeah, that's a carry both the
Yeah.
passport. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
And
Carry both the.
thanks for the information. I don't know what's your name, Deepak and Anil. Adding to that, is there any recommendation on visitor insurance?
Yeah, there
I
are
mean,
so many. There are
I
so many,
mean,
but I have not heard about one that is, 100% guaranteed to give you the benefits. Most of them
I
just try to take your money and then deny
yeah.
the claims later.
I tried couple of things like buying from
Mhm.
US and buying from India. I can give you my intake here in that. Okay.
Mhm.
okay,
How's health of your parent? Are they healthy enough? Like obviously, see, uncertainty no one can decide. Anything can happen to 30-year person also, anything can nothing can happen to 70-year person also. Right. So I'm talking about like how is their health? Do they have any health issues or
their
concerns or anything?
everyday health is good, but they have diabetes. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So then diabetes medicine. So I would suggest that if you know anybody from where your father is working for like LIC insurance or something, okay, ask them to buy travel insurance from India. Because what will happen that let's say first for I mean for God's sake nothing happen goes wrong, but like something goes wrong here in the US, okay,
Mhm,
all these policies they are not cashless. Okay. After
mhm.
that, the bill will be arriving and all the stuff. So they can go to India. They can they can spend their time with that agent and all the thing. They'll take care of all these claim and all the thing. They what they need to do it. Okay, because they will be after that. Sometimes they'll be going back and you asking them to send me these and send me do and all these things. That will be so boresome. Instead of that, buy insurance from India, travel insurance, maybe ICICI or maybe New India or anything, government or non-government, anything. That will be far more because if you're talking about the claim, both the company, if you buy insurance from US or India, they both are same. They're
Price
not
wise,
gonna help you.
okay. Price
I
wise,
mean,
same. That's what you're
that is
saying.
my advice, and that is what I have been doing it now. First time I tried it from here, but next time I say buy it from India because that what is happening that when you buy from India, it also includes that traveling also. For example, the flight is delayed, luggage is delayed. Okay, so all these things are also taken care. Because health insurance, if you buy from here, in that case also you might have to buy travel insurance separately. Right. So
Okay.
instead of that, buy travel insurance and buy say add a $1 million of health insurance with that. It will cost you maybe for 6 months. For me, it was costing last time when my parents were it costed me 45,000 rupees, which was more than better deal than buying from here because that
So for
includes leaving from their home to car arriving back to our home in India.
and 45,000 is for 6 months,
Yeah, 6 months like yeah, it's like 5 months and 15 days.
and then it includes pre-existing diseases, right?
Yeah, see, there is not like a pre-existing disease or something. Like it
Mhm.
basically what happens that for what things are treated, and you have to declare everything, whatever is there in you.
Okay, and then only they will give the premium quote in India, right?
Yeah, yeah, that is it. So always disclose it. You do not hide it. It's just like वो agent ने बोला कि भाई ये करो ये करो. Don't do that.
Mhm.
Tell go one line by line. You have this problem. You have this problem. Tell that. And let them decide whether they want to issue it or not. After because if you tell everything and then issuing, then it is their liability to pay.
No, the whole
Right.
point of buying insurance is something happens here, right? So, does that insurance bought in India cover anything happens here, like emergency?
That is what they are supposed to do.
It's an international travel insurance. It will
Yeah,
cover
it is.
that, but most
Yeah.
insurance companies will firstly they will say they are not going to cover any pre-existing conditions, even if you buy them in India or here. most insurances, travel insurances will see to it that they don't cover pre-existing conditions. And then when you try to go for a claim, they will skirt around the idea that they'll try and label everything as a pre-existing condition and not try and pay you. And this has been like the experience of most people who have ever had to use an insurance after they travel, like parents are not traveling here, right? So buy an insurance just for the sake of it. It's good to have an insurance as a backup option, but be aware that most insurances will run around when you will file a claim. And when you have an India based insurance or even insurance that you purchase in the US, most of them require you to pay upfront and you can claim for whatever you paid later. So it's not like the insurance that you have from an employer here. It's a different way that it functions. So just be aware of that and just be aware that most insurances will try and reject every claim that you file with them. So
Even
Yeah,
the ones that you buy in US, does anybody
They,
has any experience with that?
yeah, I have experience. It's the same thing. It's just like they are just a shady insurance, to be honest.
Okay.
Even like paying a $900, right?
Mhm.
They do not cover almost anything. Like they say because they sometimes what will happen that they will say, okay, these are our doctors from where you're doing. That will be like 50, 60, 80 miles away sometimes because they will be
Oh,
also having those shady doctors who will be also cover, they will not cover everything because they do not have any tie with the
okay.
local age. So that's the reason that like because after 6 months when your parents are back and all the things, so like they can take care because like in the US here the agents will not help you. In India agents will help you for all these things. Right. And
Right.
as I said that, right, if you are like go by line, because in insurance there is a like what is a pre-existing disease are there and all the things. You go there and take it. Don't worry if the agent says don't no no don't no no say so put it no. No, if you have it, go there. Because like if you have all these things and go and for God's sake or not, like if something goes wrong, right? If you have all this information, keep the copy of the form then you can always go by the law and like okay, you can fight all these things if the bill is substantial enough to fight for it.
So
Right.
look for INF plans. It is one of the few insurances from my deep research that I did when my parents were visiting. INF is it is a little expensive, but though that's one of the insurances for travelers where you don't have to pay cash upfront and you just give the insurance card. They will have to admit and take care of you. And at the end, they will have to deal with the insurance. Will have to deal with your hospital and negotiate the fees and prices and everything. So look into INF. I think they had a plan. They had some plans which also cover pre-existing conditions. But I did pay a big premium for my dad who was post 70 because senior citizen, and then the prices just go up. And I think I paid around 3,000 for like 4 months or something. So it was pretty expensive. But that one covered everything.
Yeah, I bought INF too. INF is good because, uh, like the main thing is the network, right? So it comes under United Healthcare Network,
Right.
PPO network, and that mostly covers like all the nearby hospitals. So you wouldn't really have to drive 80 or 90 miles to go see a doctor. In fact, you do not have to even have to call them upfront that we need to go see a doctor. You just directly show up at the hospital, and then later they will just go and claim it with your insurance provider. So it's the United Healthcare PPO coverage. That's what it is. It's a little
Okay,
bit on the expensive
we should
side, but
look for a PPO provider. Okay, I got the.
yep,
That's a
yep.
good
It
thing.
has INF has a
Good
lot
point.
of plans. Some come under United Healthcare PPO, so those are really good. They are a little bit expensive, but it gives you a peace of mind, right? So that's important.
Right. Yeah,
Wow.
they have the one for
Thank
the
you.
PPO, and then they have an insurance plan which covers a set of doctors. So they will tell you that if you're flying to a certain zip code, they will like that plan will tell you that these are the doctors that are covered in the area. It's a little cheaper than I think the what they call the maximum plan is the PPO is the elite. But then yeah, go and look on infplans.com. Research a little bit. There is actually a really good document that was created on the Indian expat group, like for someone who had done very deep research into the insurance plans for parents to travel, and also try to look at that.
Yeah,
There is a
sure.
Google
Right.
Doc
Thank
as
you.
well, which compares different insurances. I think you should be able to easily find that on Facebook group.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll
And
find
one
that
more thing I would like
definitely.
to add that like regarding the travel, okay? Try to have a flights either directly from India to US or maybe try to have a Gulf countries flight. Do not try to pick up European flights or anything, okay? Even they might be cheaper.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
we've taken
yeah,
care of that through Gulf. Yeah,
correct.
Etihad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
And
I have
have
a
you
follow-up question on this. My name is Swati. I have a follow-up question on this. So, what is the ideal timeline gap between travel? Like, I saw a post today. One of their parents traveled after 8 months, and they were departure from Newark Airport. It seems. So the port of entry, they said it's not 1 year completed. Why are you back again? Is it mandatory that if they travel for 6 months, again they shouldn't enter for 1 year?
This is a clear case of winning a case against the Department of Homeland Security, and the parents can win a really good, healthy amount with that. If this is a reason for that, they have been deported back. Our
Oh,
ideal days are 181 days.
okay, 181 days.
Yeah,
That
so
means six
technically
months.
there is no wording mentioned on that. Okay, but ideally they want someone to be here in the United States for not more than 6 months. That's 181 days.
Yeah,
right?
but they
No.
can travel
How-
after.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they can come. Yeah, they can come back anytime after 6 months. But if they see a pattern that you are coming back, you just leave on the 179th day and then come back after 10 days, or let's say maybe another month gap, and you come back, then they will question you as to why are you coming back so early? Because
No,
see,
after 6 months, can they come back after 6 months gap?
Yeah,
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 they
they
can
can.
come back.
Yeah.
No issue,
They can
no
come back.
issues. Yeah.
So
But
so
like
think
as I
And
about
said,
like 6 months in the US and 6 months in India and 6 months coming back. They can keep doing that
yeah, yeah,
without
they can do
any
that. They can
legal.
do it. See, but
In
like
fact,
what is
lot of
happening it, I have seen many people, okay, there are parents are arriving and after that they do babysitting jobs.
right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
trust
So,
me.
but
And yeah, if something is
when
spotted like that on this thing, then they have all the rights to ask.
Yeah, agree,
right,
agree.
and make
And
sure
one,
that make sure that your parents don't tell them that they are even babysitting your kids. Okay, because that is considered technically a job in America.
okay, yeah.
So they should not say that they are coming here to take care of the grandchildren.
Oh,
They should just the purpose should always be just visiting for tourism, staying
so
with
Traveling,
your
visiting
kids.
family, visiting, traveling, and that's it. It's not like, and like this, I mean,
Exactly.
my parents always say they just want to spend some time with my grandkids and all that. They want to see
Exactly.
them and all that stuff. They say
Yeah.
that, right? But like
Yeah.
babysitting, what he said, don't use such words. It's like all this.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know
Because
sometimes
in
we said that babysitting is so expensive. That's why I have to come to. I say, man, this
Yeah,
is like,
that's wrong. That's completely wrong. Because then
okay.
they will think that you're trying to work on this visitor visa, which is illegal.
Okay, even though
Okay.
we show 6 months of itinerary that we are going to visit places or travel, are they going to approve for 6 months to stay in US, or it depends upon them how many months they will allow?
The officer has a lot of powers, so he will decide. Usually they just give it for 180 days for parents. They don't create any issue.
so
It's
Okay.
always good
now
to have a
now
return
it's
ticket.
Trump, right? So nobody knows. But
Yeah.
during Biden's era, it was fixed 6 months, even if you were returning back in like
no, no,
10 days
Trump
or
era,
two
my
weeks.
parents had traveled couple of time in a Trump one. We never had issue. Okay, so it's 180 days, but like always carry return ticket.
Yeah,
Okay,
it is
like
always
do
recommended
not
to have.
leave the because see, I'll tell you, all the airlines who are operating to and from US, okay, they share passenger details to Department of Homeland Security the moment the tickets are bought.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And that's the reason that there is no arrival stamp, there is no exit stamp, because they share the details all the time that who people who are going to arrive and who have arrived, who are supposed to leave, when are they supposed to leave, and when and who have left the country. Okay, so they everybody knows before you are arriving that who is going to come today, even though there is no entry stamp or exit stamp at any time of port of entry. And
okay.
for someone who said Etihad, so you know that for the Etihad, most of the flights they have restarted pre-immigration on Abu Dhabi airport. So do check that also. So if their parents are arriving here in the US, so they may not be on a they might be on a domestic terminal or maybe domestic place to pick up their luggage and all that things. So take care of those things also. So do check all these things.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a pre-clearance in Abu Dhabi. You're right. Yeah, we'll take care of that. Thanks.
So this is about parents. What if sister or brothers or anybody of them come here? They want to travel here. Will they also get 180 days, or it depends again?
They have valid visa,
Yeah, they have a valid visa.
and this is the first time they are traveling.
Yes,
And what is their age?
they are 40 years around.
They are married in
Yes,
India.
married, married, married.
And so are they coming with family or alone?
No, alone.
They
Just want
might
to
be,
live.
yeah, so they might need to carry their, they are working, right?
Yes, yes, they're working.
So just ask them to carry their leave approvals and all those kind of proofs, because they might ask them, because usually when somebody less than like retirement age travels, they try to make sure that they are not going to settle here and work here and they're going to go back. So they may be asked a lot of other questions. Your parents are safe, but the siblings may be asked questions about why are they here, because if they are here for more than 3 weeks, the suspicion goes on that uh, what is happening to your life in India, and do you have the leave
Oh,
approved and such kind of things.
just 3 weeks. Okay.
No, no, no.
Usually, they
He's
explain.
just it's not it's less a defining, but like
Mm.
always carry return tickets and all that stuff. And
Exactly.
yeah,
There
and
is there is
no
no
company
such
in the
rule
world.
that
Yeah,
exactly. There is no written rule like that. I'm just giving the general guidance.
and there is no
Okay.
company in the
But
world who will give you 6 months of holidays. To be honest.
Exactly.
but
In fact,
Yeah.
answer to
in
your
fact, they
question
are
is yes, they can get 6 months.
yes,
And
right. Yeah,
because a lot of people you see, not generalizing again, but a lot of people we see in Dunkin' Donuts and all the other Indians owned shops, they all come in tourist visa and they never go back. So that is what one apprehension DHS will have to take care of that. They ask a lot of documents, even for, I mean, this also
exactly.
applies to parents. Yeah.
Yeah, so it
Oh,
is also possible that they don't even ask anything and straight away give 180 days, but just be prepared, right? They may give shorter length as well. It depends on the officer
Yeah.
how he
Always check.
thinks
Yeah.
at that
Always
point
check
of time.
I-94. Always check
Yeah.
I-94 once they clear the immigration. It just gets 5 to 10 minutes to update it.
so in
Okay.
that case, the return ticket should be flexible one because it depends upon
No, no,
them.
no. Don't judge all these things. Don't worry all these things. You go by your plan. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If something goes wrong, then you do it.
Book
Okay.
anything
Yeah.
within 180
Because US is
days.
only country where visa does not grant to 100% arrival. Okay. When some of the students from the USA were deported back. Okay, and at the time Sushma Swaraj was a foreign minister. She said that these kids, Indians should understand that okay, you having a US visa that does not mean that it grants you entry to the USA. You're always
Hmm.
subject to a scrutiny at the time of port of entry.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you should like and the CBP and the officers should understand that it is beneficial it is beneficial for them to give a visa to these people and let them come in.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
we should not be begging in that, "Okay, please let me go in the US and all this thing." So your answer should be in that line and length.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
guys.
Yep.
I have a question.
And one more thing. This is not a legal advice. There's no lawyer here in this
Yeah,
group. Okay.
these just
Yeah.
Everyone is just
experiences.
yeah. Everyone is just sharing their real life experience.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
don't come back on this, hey man, you get
No, no, no.
Yeah. don't
Right, these
don't
are
sue us.
helpful experiences, right? These are helpful experiences for others to
Yeah.
take note, to be
Right.
cautious at least. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So we just want to make sure that there's no confusion.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if your sister has a like he has a if she has a like a very substantial travel history in other countries, I think they may not ask anything. They said, okay, it's fine.
Yes. Right. Yeah. That's true.
So those, yeah, so those are
I
also
have,
certain things. Yeah. Maybe because I believe if your sister has got the visa, that means you would not be the first time like traveling out of India to the USA. This they might have a really good travel history with other countries because they're only because getting a sister with it's like it's parents visa now out of 10, 8% people will get it.
Okay.
Sisters and siblings, it's like pretty hard to get it sometimes in such
Okay.
scenarios.
Okay. I have one
I'm
more
assuming.
question. Okay, I have one more question, but out of topic. I am not sure if I can ask here or not.
Yeah, go ahead.
So if they travel here,
Visa, you can get you can travel. You don't need a visa to
You,
travel
you
in this
have you do
country.
have to re-enter within 30 days
Yeah, within
using
30 days.
automatic
Yeah,
visa revalidation. That is, so
correct.
you have to be careful of that. Yeah.
And plus one more thing, as some people like try to do over smart all these things. Okay, by doing that, that doesn't mean that your 6 months entry has been extended. No.
hmm,
Okay, you follow that because the moment you go 180 and 200, 170 and 280, 81 days, there are chances the next time they will stop you at a border of, I mean, port of entry, they will send you back.
okay.
Yeah, so that law, I know some, I have seen some post that my parents' visa, can you go to Mexico and extend the 6 months? No, don't do that. Don't play with all these things.
Yeah, yeah. And when you say a valid US visa, I need to have stamp in my passport.
They already
Yes.
had how the
Yes,
so how
yes.
they're
How
coming
will
already
they
to
enter
the
US?
US. Yeah, how they're gonna enter to the US?
No, no. I
B1,
have
B2
US
is
A
visa.
a
big,
B1, B2 is a valid visa stamp.
Yes, yes. They have. I'm asking about myself. I recently extended my H1B, so I don't have recent
oh,
stamp.
so you have to be careful. So if you have to travel outside the country, so you can go to like what are the six countries, Mexico included. You can do that on automatic visa revalidation if you don't have a recent stamp. But in
Okay.
that case, you need to have a visa of the country you're going. So if you're going to Mexico, you will need a Mexican visa. It will let you re-enter within 30 days because you have a valid 797, and you need to have a past H1B stamp. So at some point, like if you have had a H1B stamp in the past, then that has to be there.
No,
If
they're
this is
also
your
allowing
first
change
time,
of no, they're also allowing change of status also in that case. So if from student to H1 is also possible in that case. They allow it. Okay. But however, again, as someone said, legal status. Okay. Currently,
Mhm.
you know who is that admin right now, who is the president of USA right now. Right.
Okay.
So at the time of right, I know it requires a 5, 6 months of planning to book and all the stuff. But like, but just 2 days before, if you see that some rules have changed, don't travel.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've
I
also
mean,
seen on a lot of lawyer firms, forums, wherein they're advising people to not
yes,
to
I think
travel.
many
So,
many
yeah, don't
employers
take
are
the
actually
risk.
employers have been sending out PSAs, like many big companies, right? Like the Fortune 500 type companies. The lawyers are sending out PSAs that don't travel, especially in this first quarter, like around, especially around January, like after Trump was going to power, and then after that for the
Yeah,
next couple months. So yeah, I don't know if you want to play with fire, that's fine, but it comes at a huge risk at this point to travel outside,
yeah,
especially
it's
when you
a
don't have a
risk.
stamp.
It's a risk. I mean,
Yeah. Thank you, guys. These are useful. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah,
Uh,
go ahead,
yeah.
shoot.
I think somebody just answered it, but still I want to ask: is it okay to travel outside while the EID renewal is in progress? And the
Is it a
travel must
standalone?
be,
Is it a standalone, or is it
yeah,
applied with the H4?
it's a standalone. H4 already approved until
No,
2027.
no, no, no. Again, see, you are not understanding me. Did you apply for H4 and EAD at the same time? H4 could have been approved, but did you apply H4 and H4 EAD in the same bracket, like the same packet and all? That is what I'm asking.
No.
Okay, then
Uh,
yeah, you're
wha-
good. You're good. You're good.
no, no,
no,
so
I think.
next month we are applying for H4 EID standalone. That's it.
Yeah,
Oh,
H4 already has been approved. Like extension has been approved.
yeah, you're good. You're good. H4 EAD, but yeah, making sure that you are in the US, you apply, then you leave the country.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
no. If your H4 EAD is under process, then if you leave United States and trying to come back, then if you leave United States, then it is considered that you have abandoned that
No, no, no.
H4
For
EAD.
EAD, it is not. EAD does not apply like that. Only H4 in H4 in
I,
H4 only. No, no. I can confirm. We have done that, so I can
well,
confirm.
And the
EAD.
stamping is also valid until August 2025.
Correct. Yeah, you can use that. Don't worry on that. As I said that EAD is applied after, like, once you're in the US, and then if you leave the country, it will not get rejected basis of your you have left the country. It will not get rejected.
Okay. But there won't be any issue while entering back. For example,
Why?
there
You
is a
see,
travel in Canada.
EAD is a additional benefit.
Yeah,
EAD is an
Okay.
EAD is not
additional
a visa.
benefit.
It's not
You
a
EAD
already
visa.
have a
doesn't give
H4,
you
yeah.
re-entry
EAD has
rights.
nothing to do with the entry.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So
I would still clarify with the lawyer, man, this
Yeah,
point.
check
Like,
it out. You can
yeah,
Google it
check it out.
also.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm,
check
I'm
it out,
pretty
Google,
sure
but I
that
can
people have
confirm you.
advised like not to
I,
do that. I mean, you're
yeah, the only
extending your
fear is
H4 EAD, then you have to
I have
reapply again.
experience with a similar scenario. Can I talk?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. My name is Ramesh.
Yeah, Ramesh, please.
Yeah,
Please
yeah.
share.
I had a similar scenario. H4EAD applied and traveled.
Okay, and
So the application will be under process. One thing is to consider is you will get an RFE requesting for the new I-94.
yeah, that's a possibility, yes.
Yeah, so that will delay the process. That's the only issue.
Right. And sometimes they approve it without RFE also. So there is no like one thing that you can expect from them to do. So it depends on the
Yes.
officer.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
our case, for our case, it got approved. We left the country, and then, yeah, when we were
Yeah.
there, by the time we arrived, the card was already in our mailbox.
So when
Yeah.
when
So
was
it's
that?
50-50.
Like last year.
Oh, last
But
year.
again, it's a Trump era, so that's what the fear is.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
plus
currently, you
plus
know
see,
that.
each service center has their own set of people, how they train them, and then individual officer who is looking at your application, they may not even check whether you exited or not. He may just check the last identifier and
In
approve it.
EAD card, yeah, in EAD I-94 validity or something, it is not important. They just said like they check, but like they check the H4 validity. Okay, they check because
No,
like
no, no. They
even if you
check identity.
No,
yeah,
man.
They check.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, yeah.
H4 is
That's
when you
what they.
provide a H4 petition, when you provide the H4 petition I-797A, in that there is I-94 attached. Okay,
Right.
but they
But
don't
in,
care. They don't care if this is the latest one or not.
no,
Okay,
no, no.
latest. I'll tell you
That
what has happened to my
no.
wife.
What do you
Why
mean
would
by
they?
latest one or not?
Yeah, they see. Uh, let's say, yeah, like for example, for this person who has a H4 right now, who has a H4 petition is approved for, let's say, 2028. Okay, 2020 H4 is approved. Okay, and let's say the person leaves the country right now. Okay, and applies for EAD before that, and then come back after 2 months or 3 months. Okay, they know. Okay, they know that even like currently, this is not the time that person would have applied for H4 extension right now. In that case, they will approve it. My case, what has happened that my employer applied for H1 extension. Along with that, they applied for H4 and H4 EAD and separate. I said, no, you apply for separate H4 EAD separately. Okay, that happened. And then we left the country. Then when we come back, left the job and joined another company. Okay. And my employer was nice. They did not withdraw my application for H4 and anything. Okay. They did not revoke my H1 also. Okay. H4 H4 by the time H4 was already H1 was already H4 was already approved because it was a file into premium processing. But I had my own intention not to file H4 EAD into the premium because I know that I wanted to leave the job. I left the country and I come back. I joined another company. Okay. And my employer provided like they filed for my H1 and H4 and everything into the premium processing. Again, I asked that don't need to file for H4 EAD because it is already in the process. My H4EAD for my wife got approved. Okay, but it got approved with my earlier employer's amendment process. Okay, so that is still valid. I don't need to apply for again for because I changed my employer and other thing. I don't need. My wife has another H4. Okay, and it is extended by another 3 months extra because I changed the employer in a 3 months time, 3 4 months time, right? So it got approved and it is still valid. And all the things still got verified and all the stuff. I don't need to apply it right now. So this is the current case for me. Okay, and which has
Well,
happened. I
I
agree
I would
terms.
still advise to go for a
Yeah,
professional
check with
opinion.
attorney. Like,
Yeah,
but this is the same
because
advice I
things have
got it from
changed now.
attorney.
What I've
No,
heard is
no.
that
Yeah, premium processing will not go. So earlier was a decision that okay, they were considering all the application to go under premium processing. Currently, they are thinking or they might go that okay, premium processing will not apply for H4 and H4 EAD when it files along with the concurrently with the H1 in a premium.
didn't that stop on January 18th?
Yeah, it
Correct.
stopped.
It
It
stopped,
stopped
right?
there. Yeah.
Yeah. So why is that point now being raised?
No, no, I'm saying that it is now. This is not. It's not gonna be premium processing also. So that is it.
No, that's the old story now. So it's not in play
Just a
now.
week or just till week
Yeah.
ago.
So anyway, I mean, whoever asked this question about H4 EAD leaving the country and coming back, I mean, check with the many lawyer forums. So they will guide you.
Yeah, so as I know, I can share my opinion. There are two use cases. One is that you leave with pending H4 EAD, you can come back, no problems. The only thing is, as someone shared, they might send you an RFE to submit the new H4 94 that you got when you came back. That's the only glitch there. So when they send RFE, usually they just delay the things by like 1 month or 2 months. That's a glitch you will face. And there is no guarantee that they will send the RFP. They might just approve it directly as well as the other person had the experience. So it's 50-50, but you can
Yeah.
travel. That's fine. As long as your H4 is not a change of status application. Okay, if it is an extension, that's fine. Change of status is what gets abandoned automatically.
Yes.
So
That
that's,
is
yeah,
that is known. That is known.
right.
So traveling, going out, coming in is not the issue as long as you have your valid H4.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Visa.
So, but EAD thing, you need to check with.
But why
Yeah.
they will change I-94 while coming back
Every
to
time. No,
every time?
every time you exit US, I-94 is gone automatically.
Yes.
You will get a new one when you enter again.
So
Okay, so
since
you
we're on this topic, I had this question, so
Uh-huh.
in my case, we already have a stamped H1 and an H4, which is valid till July 2025. Okay. And we just applied for a premium processing H1, H4, and H4 EAD together, which got approved today, all the three. But fortunately, unfortunately, my wife had to go to Canada and come back. Will that be impacted or nothing happens to that?
Canada is a different story, I guess.
No,
Okay.
no, it is
Canada,
the same.
Mexico.
It is the
Canada,
same. But
Mexico is.
no, no, Canada
See,
is also the same.
contiguous land border, there's a different set of
No, no,
rules.
no. Every day, even like when you leave, also that also get I new I-94. No, but like, are you saying that it got approved and after that your wife left, or
So it's a little funny thing. So she left in the morning last night. Okay. And then we received the email confirmation of the approval today.
then it's fine. Then it's okay. You should
Okay.
be
And she'll
okay.
be coming back late tonight. I know, technically tomorrow morning. So now that you're talking about this, about H4 and H4 EAD not being valid or RFE will be coming, but technically she has a stamp, she has a valid
I think
H4, she has a
she is
valid
fine.
No,
H4
She
she
EAD.
should be okay. Only
she
thing
should be
that
okay. Yeah.
yeah, all this petition they go for second review. Okay, by the supervisor. Okay, they review it. Okay, and at the time they so I believe if everything if it is a approval notice and all that stuff in that if a second review does not go for tomorrow or day after, then she should be fine in that case. Not to worry.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, probably she might be subjected to a secondary inspection. I mean, worst case scenario.
Okay. Okay. But even though she has a valid H4 stamped on her passport.
Yeah, you
I
don't.
would
I
say
mean, people at port of entry. I mean, can
Yeah, I
never
mean,
know.
okay. Yeah,
I would
right,
suggest
right.
that if you receive the approval notice, okay, ask your wife to use that one.
No, no, we
Okay.
haven't. It's just on an email. The status has changed to
No,
approved. We haven't received.
in premium processing, email is already received by your a lawyer, an
Okay.
approval notice. So ask
Okay.
them to provide it and ask your wife to use that one.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
Okay.
I will have to
Yeah.
email her then. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. So copies are okay. Copies are okay. If they and in the worst case, if they're denied, then use the old petition. Got it. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anyone else who has a question?
Again, to reiterate, so these are all experiences. They're not professional advisors.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Don't
yeah,
take, don't
these
make
yeah,
any
because
critical immigration decision based on these
these
advices.
are all it has
You won't find
You
us.
are you are
You
not
won't
paying
find us.
us. Yeah, you are
Yeah.
not paying us for all these advices, so they are not,
yeah, yeah.
so you cannot come back to us.
Exactly. Yeah. There is no relationship, attorney-client
Yeah.
relationship here.
Yes.
Yeah, there is a consideration, right? When in school, we say there is no valid consideration here. Okay.
Mhm.
So there is no, this is just a discussion.
So I have a question from Vinayak on YouTube. He's saying that his H1B was approved while he was in India, but he never used it. And he came to US on H4 and then he is working on H4 EAD. So can he use H1B in future if he wants to?
When was
Does
the
anybody
petition
want?
approved? When was the petition approved?
He's not coming
Yeah,
on the
yes.
call.
So,
So I
okay.
asked him
Yeah,
that
so
we need more information, but
generally,
he's
those petitions are valid for like 6 to 7 years from the date of approval. Okay, if it is not
exactly.
used, then yeah, the person has to go for a fresh lottery.
Yeah, but usually what happens is that if you have not even used it once, basically you have not started your payroll on H1B at least once. So in some cases, what USCIS does is they cancel or they, don't count you in the cap technically. So then they say that since you are not counted in the cap, you can't even apply for H1 transfer. That has happened in some cases. So that's a risky thing. So if you have got the first time H1B approval, most of the attorneys advise that at least come to US on H1B or at least use it once in like first 3 to 4 years so that your number is counted in the cap and then you can at least claim it later. That's what I understand.
Yeah, that is also true. Like, if that petition is revoked and all that stuff sometime because in the absence of, because especially when you apply for change of status by staying in the US, they will ask for a pay stub.
Right.
Yeah. So in that case, so other in apart, I would suggest that rather go back to India, apply from there, like, and then get it stamped, then come back. Because get using that petition which was never used, if it is more than 4 or 5 years, it's just 50-50 chances. And as I
Right.
said,
Yeah,
that
that's
that
what I'm
person
saying.
is not, yeah. Yeah. So check with attorney and all of the stuff. It's like,
Yeah. In some cases, they deny saying that you were never counted in the cap because you never used that H1B. So they reject the transfer application if somebody tries to do it. So it is important that you use it at least once, even for 10 days, and then come back to H4EAD if you want. That will work. But otherwise it's a risky proposition. Okay, I don't think we have any more questions. Great, somebody is requesting to speak. Wendy, please go ahead if you have any question.
Hi Anil, you might have answered my question from YouTube. Sorry, I missed it. I was finding my AirPod. Hello.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, my question being H1B, it is not yet expired, but we have never used it and came to US on H4 and turned that into H4 EAD. So the validity of that visa is the H1 visa is till September 2025. I'm sure we'll not use that, but thing is, in future, can we utilize it? Because yeah, I would like to know the answer because I knew one of the instance, but I'm just trying to solidify my belief.
you just use it for like at least one day or maybe 10 days, and then it will be guaranteed to work next time. But if you don't use it, then there is a risk that they might not count you in the cap, and then in future, if you try to file transfer, they may deny. It's not guaranteed. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So it's not like pure shot guaranteed thing.
Oh, okay. Because why I'm
Yeah.
asking is I met a guy through a Telegram from Hyderabad. He
Hmm.
is like he mentioned that his employer, one of the employer in Hyderabad, applied in 2007, 8 that
Hmm.
season during the recession. Due to recession, they didn't send him, and he rekindled that just using the approval notice. He
Yeah,
rekindled
it works.
use yeah.
That's what we were discussing. That there is a term. I think 5 to 6. 6 years is the term.
6 years, yeah, 6 year is a term. 6 year is a term, and in
Yeah.
your case, you since you have never used it, okay, you cannot. It will be too difficult for you to apply for H1B transfer being in the US because what will happen that most of the companies will ask for the pay stub of H1.
Okay.
Correct. H1 pay stub. How luckily you are working on H4. So technically they cannot define it anywhere that it is H1 pay stub or H4 pay stub or in that case. Okay. But I believe you should be good. Okay. But you should not linger it for another 3, 4 years or something. Okay. I would suggest that if you want, if your employer is okay right now, okay, ask with your talk with your employer that okay, I don't want to have a associated with H4 ED, I want to have H1, all the stuff then try if
Yeah.
they can file it to your transfer and put it right. But as I said, like, see,
And especially in Trump era, they just interpret the same rules very strictly because they know
yeah.
that they have got a lot of powers in their hands, so they try to reject more than approve. It's a risky thing there.
In worst case, what will happen? Your H4 EAD is still there. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if you apply for switching to H1 transfer and some, let's say, it doesn't get approved, that doesn't mean that your H4 gonna get rejected. It will continue to work. So you're lucky you are one of the rare enough who has all these benefit, right? So I
Yeah.
know some people
Just
would
for
have to leave the job. Some people would have to leave the job until the petition gets approved. In that case, you're good, yeah. So,
Okay, thanks for the information. And for the record, it's not me on H4. I'm
That's fine.
asking for yeah, yeah.
oh,
That's
sorry.
That's fine. You
yeah.
don't need
I'm
to
the primary
share
applicant.
the personal details. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Don't
okay.
share those things. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks, sir. Thank you very much.
And most of the time, whenever we are asking immigration questions, we are asking for a friend.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
That
what I
that's
have.
true.
That's what I've
Yeah.
seen on the
And the
internet.
person is not on social media.
So
In
And
my
that
that's
friend
case,
does
it's
not use the
that's the
social
norm.
100%. I'm asking for a friend. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. It's okay. You don't need to even share the name of that.
There may be silly questions. It's just like advice. But as I said, that if you're not paying for us for this advice, so you cannot make us liable also for all this advice.
Yeah. Even if you pay, we are not liable. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. True, true, true. I mean,
because
yeah.
we are not attorney there. Okay. We are just sharing our real life experience as a friend.
Yeah, no, what it the snowball effect of discussing these in an open forum being is I got benefited through this because I mentioned Anil in one of the messages to him in 2017. I was asking some other question. He asked me a very pertinent question, and I asked that back to my immigration team. And we got to know that I have only 27 days remaining. They messed up with my other stuffs and they told me a wrong date. And after 180 days, only 27 days or 17 days remaining. Then we all, I mean, that was it is a good thing to discuss so that it leads to
Right.
somewhere
Yeah.
because immigration is a ocean and every examples are different and it's always good to know
You
Exactly.
different.
always ask. See, our parents have
Yeah.
also asked कि भाई मेरा लड़का है शादी करवानी है मेरी लड़की शादी करनी है see शादी भी होती है इंडिया में so immigration is like just a small thing right
No, no, it's a small thing, but sometimes
no I'm
it
saying marriage
proves
is like
proves. Yeah.
while discussing all these things marriages are happening in India right so this is just immigration that's it.
Okay.
Oh,
Someone is asking on YouTube, is there any hope for the immigration registry date to be advanced? That will give huge relief to EB2, EB3, GC. I don't think that will happen. It's just all, even if they do, they will do it for the illegals, not for
Yeah,
the
even even
legals.
those Jyotisi who charges you $500 for all these things, they also do not respond to these questions.
Yeah, right. I think someone joined as a speaker. You want to ask your question if you have, or do you want to share your opinion? I forgot who joined recently.
It's a Tulsi there, I guess.
But yeah,
Oh, I think they will be listening.
you want to go ahead and ask or share your opinion? I guess his connection is not great.
Yeah, I think the percentage.
Okay. I guess if you don't have anything else, we can close the call for today.
Yeah, I can just add one more thing it here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I know we are not that in a big group or something, but like I would suggest that if you guys have any problem regarding your job, the layoffs, or all the things, maybe we can also discuss all these things. Maybe I don't know. I mean, not share your personal link, but maybe we can go to the DM and learn all these things. But anybody
Yeah.
struggling with something, if somebody has a references and all the stuff, maybe don't just give a generalize that okay, you're into this domain and all the stuff. If you're looking for some option, don't come back with that. Okay, I want a growth. Just please ask only if you're struggling with your current situation. That can be also that we can talk on that. And also, I mean, that in a space you can also schedule a space. I know you've been putting some tweets about in the post about that. Today it's gonna be six
Yeah.
o'clock or 7 o'clock. You can also schedule it and post it.
Yeah, I'm doing that. I think I did that 12 o'clock this morning that I'll be doing this space today. I usually try to put it ahead of time and share it in the
No, no,
groups.
that's I think, but you can schedule it. Like when you go to
Yeah,
that link,
yeah.
you can schedule it, post as a space, I guess.
I'm scheduling it. I don't know whether Twitter shows it or not to everyone, but I'm scheduling
Okay.
it.
Yeah, maybe I didn't see. Okay. I know
Yeah,
obviously
maybe.
who has
One
a
last
question.
question, Anil and Bhaskar, I believe. So,
Hmm.
uh, thing is, a lot of my juniors tend to ask me of lately, how is H1B seen this year because of change in administration? So, is there anything, any surprises or anything we can expect? Uh, I mean, uh, like
You can expect.
unusual? Yeah,
Yeah, you can expect surprises.
maybe that means
I mean,
less than 65 or something like that.
less than 60. I didn't get that.
65,
65.
65K
Six hundred.
Oh,
picks.
salary.
No, picks
No, total
65K,
admin.
85K picks, like
No, no,
80.
they gonna give 85K visas.
Okay,
They gonna give 85K visas for sure. But the next 4 year will be bumpy ride.
okay, only the
Okay,
approval
bringing the new rules, new
RFP.
regulations, changing existing these and that, racism
Yeah.
going up and all the things. But they gonna see, buddy, listen it. Like you can judge that okay, I don't want these roti or sabji in your plate, but roti and sabji it is still gonna be primary there. So Indians are still primary for
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So they
surprises.
85,000 like it is a bread and butter for these people. They're not gonna leave that.
Anil, can I answer that question?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So the 65,000 number, 65 plus 20,000 number is mandated by Congress. So that has to be allocated. No president can say no, this year we're canceling stuff. That does not happen. You have to allocate that number, but how you select them is going to be the question. They will introduce policies to vet applications, add additional requirements that are permissible within the INA. But what they cannot do is saying, all right, this year we'll take only 20. That is not, I mean, Congress has mandated and it's in the INA. So that will have to be done. Thank you.
Yeah,
And
that
one more
that's
thing,
that's a great answer. Yeah.
yeah, and one more thing I can add that, okay, so I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, okay, in last couple of years, the demography has changed. Earlier, Indian used to be like 80, 85, 90% of the beneficiary. That percentage is going down every year. Okay. So I expect from this year, maybe it's not like they're going to be a biased decision that okay, going to approve to Indians and I will not going to approve to the other people. So it's not gonna be like that. But the percentage of the Indians, okay, getting H1B visa has really gone down and it will go down. There are other factors related to that because since they everybody knew that in US H1B is one of the pathway to immigrate and all the stuff. So they were like kids are also learning the technology, software and all the stuff. So they're also other companies are also arriving, right? Other people through the companies also arriving into the US. Secondly, students from other countries like China, Gulf countries and everything, they're also arriving in a bunches right now. Last 2, 3 years, 4 years, there are like so many of them. So they will be also coming to these eligibility criteria for applying for H1B. So yes, so but yeah, but there will be more petition, more than 85,000 petition to apply for it, and they're gonna approve 85,000 visas for sure.
The other reason,
Okay,
while
okay.
the
Nice.
speaker what who just said is correct, but the other reason has is also a massive increase in the number of L1A and L1B applications. Blanket petitions has gone up multifold, which means that companies which were earlier trying to carpet bomb the system with saying I need only bodies, I need 100 bodies, so I don't care which 100 people get in, so I'll apply for 1,000 H1Bs. I just expect 100 or 200. If I get anything more than that, it's a bonus. They're all pivoting now. They're saying, well, you know what, this is too much of a headache, so we'll just do blanket L1 for all of them, and it is not capped, so there is no problem. So
Okay.
while you're saying numbers, other country members are using it, great, but that may not be the only reason why. Just wanted to
Yeah.
put that out there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
rightly pointed.
That's good. And in fact, I was speaking to one of the attorney here in Dallas. He told me that they are setting up offshore centers in Mexico. So if they don't get H1B, they are going to send people to Mexico immediately.
They
They've
have
already
it.
prepared.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
have
have
it.
it,
Yeah,
but then
many.
yeah, they have it. But let's say that tomorrow Trump comes up with some kind of new executive order. They have set up tied up with the Mexican companies which will apply for Mexican work visa immediately, and within 2 days the person can be in Mexico and keep working from there. So they are all
Right.
ready.
Correct. And even for us also, you know that if you're running more than $100,000, you can get a Mexican PR.
In manufacturing, they are
Right.
doing it already, but in
No,
software,
no, in a TCS
not
has an
much.
office. TCS Infosys, they have office in Mexico for last 4 to 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have it, and they what happened that Mexico is a backup plan for them for every so that they say
Right.
because they want or someone as a because then what they come convey to the client, sir, ये on Mexico में तो है onshore ही तो हो गया sir, कहाँ offshore है, on
Right.
site ही तो हो गया,
Uh,
Near shoring.
so
yeah, near shore. Yeah, that's the
near
term
shore,
that they
near shore, on
use.
site, yeah, there is a near shore, yeah, that is what they use it. So
Yeah.
So
But yeah, nice. It was good discussion.
yeah,
Anybody have?
Anil, one
Yeah.
more point I kind of wanted to kind of put that out there.
Mhm.
There was some talk, back in August or September, that H1B is should not supplant American workers, and only talent that is not available in the US should get that, and therefore it should be salary based and basically implement a wage level to H1B applications. So basically, H1B will qualify only if you are at level 3 or level 4. I don't know what came out of that. There were some discussions. I mean, this pretty much clears the field. And if you're saying, fewer Indians are applying, this would pretty much take out every kid who's out of college, out of a master's program. They will
Right,
not
right.
qualify, and in fact, it'll take many people out of things. So, I mean, has anybody heard anything about this wage level 3 and wage level 4? Just to
It,
bring put that out there.
yeah, it was taken back by Biden administration, but a lot of people are expecting that Trump will bring it, try to do it.
Yeah,
But
because that they can do. They can do that
right,
via rule making. While they cannot say, we will slash the 85,000 number, but they can definitely put rule making as part of their agenda and say, there's a wage, not a ceiling, but a
not getting any appraisals, that will be the enforced appraisal. But yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
it will be difficult. Yeah,
right. And also certain
let's see.
industries will not pay that much, right? I mean,
Exactly,
or
exactly.
if you're in construction or in civil or any other architects, I don't
Right,
know how architects pay. It's not very high. So but
right.
maybe at their wage level, for that category, it's different. I don't know, but this was something that was being bandied about, so I just thought maybe.
No, that the wage L1 and L2, that those are criteria has come, then I think 50% of Indians like H1B currently hold, they'll be out of status.
True.
Yep, that's a very good point. Yep, it is going to be dangerous, and it, I don't know how they will handle it. Because last time also they just issued that policy without even doing a survey or a discussion. They just wanted it to be implemented. So let's see what will happen. We will be collecting again and discussing that same executive order if they issue it. But yeah, that's it. I think we have already taken all the questions, and it was a very nice long discussion today also. And thanks everyone for joining. And Bakar, I can't really read the whole name. Bakar,
Bakarwadi.
yeah, Bakar
Bakarwadi.
Vadi. It's a
Yeah.
Gujarati dish, right?
Yeah, it's a Gujarati snack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gujarati snack.
Yeah, thanks a lot for sharing your opinions. I really appreciate it.
Oh,
And
yeah. It's, yeah,
and
glad
thanks
to talk.
everyone else
Thank you, Anil,
who
for hosting. Have a good one,
yeah,
everyone.
you're welcome,
Good
guys.
night.
Do
I
join.
can just add one more thing. Like I know, like there
Yeah,
are
yeah.
some people who are reaching out to me DM. I say like they ask me to some question. I say join this space, and I told them, "Oh, join the space and ask the questions." I have some knowledge and understanding, but like writing those long explanations and it's not my cup of tea to be at. Those young age is
Right.
gone now. I don't know. Either that I can call you. I said, buddy, then I charge $200 to give you advice. So you don't want to do that also.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah.
Bakarwadi, I know Anil has to rush back, has to close this, but I was checking recently for core branches. What is the LCA wage level 3 and 4? I couldn't see much difference because I do
You can go
hire
to
people.
FDLC data. You can go to
Yeah, I'm
FDLC
not
website.
sure about the IT, but yeah, I refer the flag dol.gov, that
No, no, no. You should
wage.
know. There's a website FDLC. You can go to that one. Okay, where you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
maybe
I'm
first of all
talking about the
Google
same.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
first of all Google it at what is your job description and what criteria it is there and what criteria it is filed. And after that, you go to that website. Okay, filter out with your job description like the code there. Then you filter out with your zip code. It will give you L1, L2, L3, and L4 data.
no, no,
Or
yeah, yeah,
yes,
I'm doing the same thing, but I just read you out that full name, flag.dol
yeah.
for G, but you said FDG.
It
Yeah,
says
that's the thing.
FDLC,
Yep,
FDLC something, yeah.
Yeah,
FDLC, look
yeah,
into
yep.
that
yeah.
one. That is
I'm
the correct
checking the
one.
same one from
Mm.
Department of Labor. Yeah, I couldn't see much difference between wage level 3 and 4, at least in core mechanical projects. So,
They,
but
yeah.
yeah,
Let's
but
do one
IT.
thing.
Yeah, we can talk
We
on that
can,
tomorrow maybe.
yeah. Next Monday, I have one scheduled for Monday. Then we can take this topic and then discuss at length there.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
sure.
do join, and I mean, if you follow me, then I'll post the timing and the link as well, and then I'll request Bakrawadi to join as well.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, yeah, we
I
can
was just
discuss.
curious. Yesterday only I was checking. Yeah, nothing else to share other than
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
do
P,
do it.
yes, yes,
that
Super.
message DM me your implemented code, okay, and zip code. Don't put much
No,
details.
no,
I'll try to find out.
I do check that for hiring purpose for my projects. Yeah, yeah, I often use that. Yeah, got it.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
Thanks.
great.
Bye.
Yeah. Thanks all for joining. It was a nice time spent,
Yes, sir.
nice
Likewise.
discussion, and I hope we were able to help you guys.
Yeah,
Have
thank
a
you,
good
Anil,
day.
for
Thanks.
this.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.